this time. Looks for Deutsch. Deutsch at the 1 into the end zone. No play action. Now look to pass over the middle. It's intercepted by Cole Hebel. Intercepted by Hebel. Rears back, comes downfield, has Rodriguez. Rodriguez at the 40, to the 50, to the 40. Rodriguez is going to keep going.
All right, Fetting's got room, and here's Bo Fetting. Fetting's still on his feet. Fetting's gone.
Looking to pass, playing off, coming left side, picked up by Cotton. Alex Cotton with the pick, he'll take it back, and into the end zone.
Turn and hand the ball off. Will Starkey, he thunders his way. 30, 20, one man to beat. He's got...
Middle's got a man, that's Friddle. Look out, Friddle, 40, 30, he's loose, 20, 10, touchdown.
Halsted Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a pleasant Good Friday evening from Sargent County. This is high school football here tonight on your live event as we get you set for 11B football between the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers and the Sargent County Bulldogs. I'm Chase Miller, and both teams lost the opener coming up in the season opener last week, where the Oaks Tornadoes defeated the Sargent County Bulldogs, while the fourth-rated Central Cass Squirrels topped the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers from Fargo Davies High School. Coming up here on our pregame show, we'll get to our American Family Insurance Chris Heisey starting lineups. Set the scene across 11B tonight with 3 other games going on your live event. That includes a top 5 matchup in Hillsboro, and we'll hear from both head coaches as well. First up will be Fargo Oak Grove head coach Melvin Whitney Jr., and then we'll hear from Sargent County head coach as well upcoming here for the Bulldogs with Eric Olson. Today in Gwinner, about 5 o'clock when we started setting up, it was overcast skies. It started to rain a little light, then the slow drizzle became a pretty good size rain for about 60 minutes. Right now it's been since 6, a little off and on rain here and there, over 60 degrees, low 60s in the temp. A wind, though, really not going to have to play too much of a factor here tonight in that particular category, but it does have the hint of fall in the air tonight. Also, how will a slick field in terms of a football, in terms of footing, hold up throughout four quarters, particularly if there is going to be some more rain coming throughout the evening. Fingers crossed we don't get any rain. We don't get any lightning, obviously, with that once we get to kickoff, but for right now, field looks in good condition. The lights are on, scheduled 7 o'clock kickoff here on your live event. Again, it's the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers and the Sargent County Bulldogs, both teams in game number 2 here of the 2022 campaign. When we come back after this, we'll get to our coach's corner again. First up is going to be Melvin Whitney Jr. from Fargo Oak Grove. It's the Bulldogs and the Grovers. Kickoff slated for 7 o'clock tonight. It's North Dakota 11B Region 1 football, and you got a front row seat right here on your live event from Gwinner.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Abuse can affect anyone, and each person's experience is different. Abuse is about power and control, and it is not always black and blue. A loving relationship should not be threatening, accusing, isolating, or include violence of any kind. The Abuse Resource Network provides services to start living the life you deserve. For more information, visit abuseresourcenetwork.org.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
Continue on our pregame show here tonight in Gwinner. It's time for our Coach's Corner. Joining us now from Fargo Oak Grove, that is the Grovers head coach, Melvin Whitney Jr. And Melvin, for you guys, a very sturdy, tough opponent to begin the season. You know, you go to Fargo Davies, play the top 5 ranked team in the Central Cass Squirrels, and now it's week number 2. At the end of the day, you play a really good team. What did you learn from game number 1 as you get ready for another region contest here tonight against the Bulldogs, Melvin?
Yeah, when you start off with a top, 5, 10, top 3, top 5 team in the state with their first game, that's really a good measuring stick. And what I think that we've learned from that game is that our kids are able to stand up to some of that physicalness. And that was a very physical team, and we got out of it pretty well. And we held our own in the second half. Second half was something that we were looking to build off of. Their first team was out there for at least the first 2 or 3 drives of the second half. We got 2, 3 and outs or something along those lines. So that's what we're trying to build on from there. Just building off of that and showing that again, hey, we can play with a top 5 team in the state. It's just being that consistency that we've been lacking over the last couple of years.
You go up against Sargent County, and I just take a look at their roster, and I say a lot of sophomores and juniors probably are going to play. They've kind of, like any high school program, sooner or later you got to mature, and then all of a sudden you go back to maybe being a little bit young. That's just part of high school sports. When you take a look at Sargent County, they played on the road as well. They went against Oaks in their very first game, Melvin. So what can you take from game number 1 from an Eric Olson, or just over the years going against Coach Olson? What do you expect tonight against your competition in the Bulldogs?
Yeah, you're going to find a well-coached team. I don't know how he keeps finding 6'5" defensive ends with long arms and, tight ends that are as tall as trees. But every year they have those guys, big, aggressive physical line as well, too. So, that's just the consistency that you see with, a Coach Olson coach program, and they play hard for, the full game. They're not gonna, let up on you. And when you think that it may be a down year for him or something like that, he'll have them coached up and ready to go. So we're ready to go and looking for this, a great matchup tonight.
As you kind of keep going, because I can't believe I'm saying this, you'll have a couple of games under your belt before Labor Day weekend. You'll have 3
Right.
before you finally get to Labor Day, and then it's almost half the season's done. But for you specifically, for the Grovers in the month of August here, Melvin, who are some guys from game number 1 to game number 2 that you want to continue to rely on to say, hey, if we do our job well, we can find ourselves in the fourth quarter with a chance to get a road victory, get back to 500? Who will be some guys tonight that need to just step up for the Grovers?
I would say that whole offensive line. If our offensive line can stand up, then it'll put us in a good spot to get a win here tonight. Of course, the skill players as usual, but Riley Bacagard, our quarterback, if he can play with the consistency that he showed at in times in the game, our last game, those are things that will be keys that we'll be able right there in the fourth quarter.
The one thing with this region, it's very dog and top heavy again. You went up against one ranked team. Another ranked team is playing again in the Kinder Vikings, the defending state champs. And it's week number 2, so it's never a must-win situation. But I think as a coaching staff, hey, get to 1-1 in the region is better than being 0-2 and trying to find your way into a top 4 spot in the region and trying to make the playoffs. So is there a little more sense of urgency just because you play pretty much all region games throughout the season compared to 9-man, you get 3 non-conference games,
Right.
or 11A, you get 3 non-conference games, Melvin. So how much is it week in and week out? Does it kind of feel like, hey, we got to find a way to get a W on the scoreboard so we're not playing from behind where we're in a must-win situation come, week 6, for example?
Right. Well, I don't want to say the playoffs start in week 1, but it's important. You get down 2 games in a region. That's a tough, thing to overcome. So Yeah, it's definitely a sense of urgency, and that's what we've talked about as a coaching staff and tried to preach to the players this week that here's the time we need to make a move now. We can't get the 1-1 without winning the game, so we got to win this one and then look at the next week and then keep going from there and try to build something because you never know what can happen. Yeah, there's top heavy teams. A couple of injuries happen here and there, and it changes the whole perspective of a region like this. So, like you said, it's cyclical in the sense of you'll see some younger kids come along, and then some teams change their whole makeup after a year or so. So it's very important that we get this, going to and attack this game as if it is a playoff game.
You mentioned your coaching staff, and sometimes I like to bring up the coaching staff with their head coaches because a lot of times the line doesn't get a lot of love because, as we mentioned, it's the skill guys getting the touchdowns. They're the ones getting the headlines,
Sure.
what they did well. Same thing with the coaching staff. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, whether it's practice or maybe it's just helping out during the school day or something in between, Melvin. So what's your coaching staff been about since you've been a head coach at Fargo Oak Grove, and how do you still keep guys that have been former players themselves, and maybe it's their second or third year as an assistant, or you got Rod Oxendahl, who probably has forgot more football knowledge than you and I can talk about, in a year. So how does your coaching staff kind of come together throughout each season, Melvin, and particularly this 2022 version?
Yeah, so I looked at, as the years go on, you evaluate at the end of the year and you say, hey, where can we make some improvements? So I was a defensive coordinator last year, so I fired myself as a defensive coordinator and went and got somebody who had much more knowledge than what I did. And with Rod Oxendahl, my assistant coaches put in so many hours. It's those unseen hours that you're talking about up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning looking at film. I get a text or something like that from my OC or something like that, or like you said, we brought in the kid that I coached back at Shanley. He's been a running back and outside linebackers coach. We're just in constant communication, trying to figure out what we can do to put these kids in the best position to be successful. So. And I know they put in, hours that go beyond just the practice time. So, and that's what I like about our staff is that I think we're a hardworking group.
Final thing for you, Melvin, before I let you go, and I know it's a cliche, but it seems like it gets brought up every football season. Week 1's over and week 2 is here. You finally got to play a different opponent. You finally got to get game film. Everything actually mattered if it was a win or a loss. So what has it been about to your time as a player, coach, everything in football? What is it about week 1 to week 2 where you typically see the most maturation in a team? And what do you want to see? We kind of alluded to it a little bit, but what do you want to see from your team here tonight against the Bulldogs in terms of taking the next step of maturing as a program and trying to find a way to keep growing here in this 2022 season?
Yeah, I mean, again, especially smaller schools, you don't always get to go good on good because of the numbers, just the sheer numbers. So after week 1, you come out of there looking at to see how do we hold up against going at live action, going against somebody else's number 1 unit. And I think, again, like I said, I thought we showed some signs here and there that we're okay, and I think that's the message that we were preaching to the players, and they saw that as well, and it's one of those things where now you got to take that and do it consistently, play by play. We really challenged some of the players this week. There was some blood, sweat, and tears going on this week, with the challenges that we set forth for them. And, they just have to realize that they can do this, and that's the constant message that I've had for the years here is that convincing them like, hey, you can do this, we worked our butts off just like everybody else. And now let's see all that work come to fruition here at the game. So this building off of week 1.
Hey, Melvin, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck here tonight against the Bulldogs and throughout the rest of the 2022 season.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
From all of us at Enbridge, thank you.
Thank you.
Miigwech, and thank you for working on Line 3 replacement.
Thank you to everyone who supported this project.
Construction is complete on a new and safer pipeline that will deliver the North American energy that we all rely on every day. And it's done thanks to the support and hard work of thousands of people. I'm grateful for every single voice of support and every hour of labor put into this project. Thank you.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
Kate's Kennels, located in Castleton, North Dakota. We offer boarding for all of your furry companions. Whether you're going on vacation or you have an emergency, we are here for you. We know they are a member of your family, and we will treat them as if they were one of our own. Kennel tours are always welcome. Check us out on Facebook at Kate's Kennels or visit our website at kateskennels.com. Give us a call at 701-347-4176 for all your furry friend boarding needs.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
Now in our coach's corner is Sargent County Bulldogs head coach. That is Eric Olson. And Eric, week number 2 of the season, I asked Melvin Whitney Jr. the same question. You go into week 1 to week 2. They always talk about, this is a time where you really see the biggest stretch after finally playing a different opponent. And now you can kind of get to see some film going into week 2. You want to see the growth of a football team. For you particularly, Eric, what is something you're going to be looking as a coaching point of view in week number 2 here against Fargo Oak Grove that you want to see your team improve upon?
That's what we talked about last week after the loss at Oaks. I promised the guys, I said, guys, things will get better. You guys are going to get better. You guys are going to show improvement. I said, you just have to stay the course. Work, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at practice, focus. Yeah, we made mistakes here last week, but I said, all these mistakes that we made, these are easy fixes. We just have to keep working, use those mistakes that we made and learn from them. We've got a lot of inexperience on the field here this year. We got some talent, but we need to gain some experience on Friday nights. And I promised them, I said, it will come. This improvement will come. We just have to we just have to work towards it and not dwell on those mistakes, but learn from them.
And the nice thing too is now you're at home. It's your home opener as well in week number 2 against Fargo Oak Grove. So you played the Grovers, the last handful of years since the region classifications went 5-6 years ago, and you played them every year. What is one thing that you expect from a Melvin Whitney Jr. team here tonight against Fargo Oak Grove, Eric?
They always come with a lot of energy, and that's from the beginning of the kickoff. Coach Whitney's got those kids ready to play. And they've always had like last year, I was standing next to a couple of them. I was very impressed with how big and physical their offensive line was. I know they graduated a couple kids off their offensive line from last year, but and that, I think from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, Coach Whitney always has them show improvement, much like what I was just talking about. They got some athletes on the field, and and Coach Whitney really focuses and makes sure that he gets the ball in the athlete's hands. A couple kids we have to look for: the Baca guard, the quarterback, Riley. You can just see his athleticism on film. And Schumacher, both offensively and defensively. So yeah, we'll have our work cut out for us, and hopefully we limit those mistakes that we made here last week, because we're going to need to do that here to have success tonight.
You look at week number 2, and I know football very much is a team effort. It doesn't matter what phase of the game. You have to do it well to find a way in the fourth quarter to come out with a victory, Eric. But for you guys particularly here, who are going to be some players, not just tonight, but throughout the rest of the season, that, hey, if we play well as the Bulldogs, that can find yourself in that fourth quarter with a chance to win a football game, who might be some guys that come to mind, Eric?
Well, the kids that have been on the field for a couple of years, Gavin Christensen, and he's bounced around to a couple different positions. Last year, we started him out at tight end, and then we were in dire need of getting somebody else on the offensive line, and we asked him, and kudos to him and other kids that a couple of them played out of position last year just because we had to, and now we got them at running back. So find another kid who's played center one year and running back the next year. But Gavin, anything that's what's best for the team, he's willing to do. Gavin Fletcher, and like Luke Martinson, Nick Hansen, some of these kids that you've seen and heard on the basketball court, we're going to use their athleticism on Friday nights. Josh Whittish, and the one I'm so impressed with how willing to learn he is. Our quarterback Michael Hoisted, and he made some mistakes last week, and he shot me a text message on Saturday morning saying, "Hey, what do I got to do to get better? Because I know that I need to play better." And yeah, he made some mistakes, but he's already learning, and so I think really as quarterback, as our passing game goes, as our running game goes, that's what we need improvement from those guys, and we need those guys to play well. And as well as I do, Chase, it all starts up front. We have some experience on the offensive line. We have some inexperience on the offensive line too. So it's just a matter of gelling those guys up front, because I firmly believe if you have success as a team, it all starts up front.
The one thing I know from a coach's point of view, you'd always like to come into the season and 8 out of your 11 guys would have 12 games of experience under their belt and played Friday nights. And other seasons, it's cyclical, right? You graduate maybe 10, 11 guys, and now you got a bunch of people who've maybe played before, but maybe more at the sub varsity, not at the Friday night lights varsity level, Eric. So what is it when you do have an experience? Because every team has it, every team has to deal with it. But what is it the first couple of weeks of camp, going into the first couple of weeks of the season, for crying out loud? We're not to September Labor Day weekend yet, and we're a quarter through the football season. But as inexperience compared to experience, what changes from a coach's point of view, if at all?
As coaches, for us, sometimes we forget what we taught the kids last year. It's a new set of kids, so you're having to reteach, the whole thing over again. Some years we've been blessed with experienced teams, and you don't have to. It's a couple just little things that you have to reteach the kids, and sometimes it's just football 101 and showing them, teaching them the rules, because they're so used to what they see on Sundays and Saturdays that a lot of times those rules don't transfer over to Friday night. So they'll look at us like, well, that happens on Sundays. Well, no, that's not legal on Fridays. So yeah, it's just little things like that. And actually, our guys here this last year, we were kind of behind the 8 ball because we only got a couple of JV games in for these, freshmen and sophomores and juniors this year. They only had 2 JV games last year because of our numbers right now. So yeah, they really are inexperienced. They haven't played a full season since their junior high seasons for some of them. So yeah, it's just us as coaches reminding each other, hey, these guys don't know that. We haven't taught them that yet. So we taught the kids who've graduated, maybe the seniors, they've heard it, but it's just a constant reminder for us.
Final thing for you, Eric, before we let you go. Ultimately, at the end of the day, what's a key or two in this football game? I know we kind of alluded to it a little bit maybe earlier on the conversation, but what does Sargent County, from your point of view, have to do here to try to get to 1-1 in the season against Fargo Oak Grove?
Number one, we got to take care of the ball. We had too many turnovers here last week, and limit the big play. Oaks was able, their quarterback, Xavier Vossler, he put the ball where he wanted to here last week, and we kind of got lost in a couple of their receivers. So I think limiting the big play defensively and taking care of the ball offensively. And like I said before, we got to get bodies moving up front with our offensive linemen. And if we can open up some holes and really get our running game going, then I think that we'll be sitting good.
Hey, Eric, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck here tonight against the Grovers, and best of luck throughout the rest of the season here this fall.
Thank you, Chase, and I appreciate you guys doing your coverage. We don't get a whole lot of coverage down here in Sargent County anymore, so I appreciate all the work that you guys do.
Thank you very much, Eric. We'll see you later tonight on the football field.
All right. Thanks, Chase.
Fact. High schools need every sports official they can find. Want to ensure that kids keep playing? Become an official and a leader. Over 25,000 North Dakota student athletes participate in statewide school-sponsored sports programs. Sports provide students with real-time training for real life. Teamwork and planning under pressure provide our young men and women with skills that will serve them throughout their lives. Without officials, high school sports wouldn't exist. It may be more.
If you want help from a firm who has integrity, respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the benefit of the community, then look no further than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys are dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsboro, and Castleton. Or visit our website at www.onsteadlaw.com.
As we continue here on our pregame show, we'll get to our starting lineups brought to you in part by Chris Heisey Insurance with American Family Insurance Agency. Before then, though, let's get to what's coming up here across the region tonight on your live event. You have Lytton HMB going up against the Lisbon Broncos. Also Kindred at Hillsboro Central Valley in a battle of top 5 ranked opponents. It's HCV number 3. The Kindred Vikings are number 1. Then you have Ellendale Edgeley Cullum at Northern Cass in 11B. Those are the games tonight here across your live event. Let's get to our starting lineups, which are brought to you in part again by our friends at Chris Heisey Agency with American Family Insurance. As we get to the starters here, the Sargent County Bulldogs won the coin toss and elected to receive. They'll go like this. At quarterback is Michael Hoisted, the sophomore at 6'1". Halfback is Gavin Christensen, the senior at 200 pounds. Wide receivers, you got 3 of them. Nick Hansen, a 6-foot junior. Fletcher Wilprecht, a 5'9 senior. And Luke Martinson, a 6'4 junior here at the wide receiver spot. Tight end of Josh Wittich, a 6'5 junior at 195 pounds. The men up front here for the Bulldogs at the tackle positions, bookending it, is Grady Wielander, the left tackle at 6'1", a junior, 250 pounds. Marcus Matthias, a sophomore at 6 foot 250. Guards of Athan Zernhelt and alongside Isaac Harris. And the center is Robert Monday, sophomore at 275 pounds. The Bulldogs are head coach by Eric Olson in his 18th season here for the Bulldogs. So that's the Bulldogs starting lineups, which means for the Grover defense, they're going to go like this here for Fargo Oak Grove, a 4-4-3 defense. Mason Hermstead, and you have Bert Torres, the lineman, alongside with Brady Baker and Jose Alcivar here for the Grovers, 2 seniors and 2 juniors up front. Linebackers of Andrew Green, Foster Lord, Spencer Schumacher, and Jesse Peterson. And then Riley Bakke guard, Griffin Olson, and Avery Quinner, the defensive backs here for the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers. Fargo Oak Grove 0-1 on the season. Their loss coming at the hands against a ranked opponent in the Central Cass Squirrels a week ago on Friday at Fargo Davies High School, 34-14 loss against Central Cass. On the opposite side for the Sargent County Bulldogs, their loss came against the Oaks Tornadoes 45-8 last week in Oaks. And that again is our starting lineups brought to you in part by American Family Insurance. Chris Heisey's team is there to help serve and help meet your insurance requests from home, auto, commercial, or farm and ranch. Additionally, as residents of your community, they understand how important it is to be there for you. Chris Heisey Agency with American Family Insurance. For more information, go online to chrisheisey.com. That again is chrisheisey.com, providing our starting lineups here in Gwinner. Currently 62 degrees, maybe a slight little bit of rain coming down, but not as hard as what it was earlier here in Gwinner. Today we do have maybe just a little bit across the camera lens as we're seeing it there, a little bit of drops coming in. So hopefully the rain surpasses and goes around, but we'll see what happens here for the football field. That is the starting lineups as they have been announced here on the field, which means the anthem and kickoff is next. Sargent County again won the coin toss. They elected to receive. One of these teams will get to 1-1 on this season, while the other will drop and get to 0-2 on the year. We'll take a quick break. We're back after this with the opening kick here in Gwinner on your.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region with the Coaches Show every Wednesday night on YourLiveEvent.com.
Goes deep down the middle, has a man, Soka Porter! Soka Porter to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and taken down there.
We'll dive into the latest stories from North Dakota and Minnesota.
And there's the block by Reese.
That's the Coaches Show with me, Joe Lancello, on YourLiveEvent.com every Wednesday night starting at 7.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
As we return here to Gwinner, 4 12-minute quarters, it's Fargo, Oak Grove, and Sargent County in a Class 11B Region 1 North Dakota High School football here tonight. Chase Miller with you with the play-by-play. Harry New still doing our camera work here. The head coach for Sargent County Bulldogs. In his 18th season with the program is Eric Olson. On the opposite side for the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers in his 7th season, that is Melvin Whitney Jr. One thing you're going to notice for Oak Grove, they have a little bit of senior contingent. They have 9 seniors on the offensive side for starters. On the opposite side for the Grovers, 7 seniors. Well, it's a little bit different here for Sargent County. They have a bevy of juniors in their starting lineup, 6 offensively, 2 seniors and 3 sophomores on the offensive side, 8 on the defensive side of the ball, 2 seniors and 1 sophomore. Kickoffs at the 40-yard line. If it goes into the end zone, an automatic touchback, and then you'll get the ball at the 20. Our officials here tonight, Brian Yanish, you have Ryan Schneider, Lance Lukes alongside Dale Undum and Matt Brandvold here, the Valley City officiating crew here tonight in Gwinner. These Oak Grove Grovers will be kicking it off left to right. The kicker here for Fargo Oak Grove, that is Luke Johnson putting this one on the tee. Well, for the Sargent County Bulldogs, Nick Hansen is back respectively at his 10-yard line, and we're going to have official making sure they're good to go with the head official again, giving the indication to kick the ball off there with Brian. As he does, we officially kick off this football game here just after the 7 o'clock hour in Gwinner, where the rain continues to come on down. This one end over end kick. That's going to be caught at about the 18-yard line, as this one's going by Martinson to the 30. Breaks a tackle, 35-40. Look how Martinson could go down the far sideline, and he's taken down at the 41-yard line. So great starting field position here for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10, ranked to Fargo Oak Grove territory. So first quarter here with a 11:49 left to play. A really good return here. They'll have the ball at the 41-yard line of Oak Grove. So the Sargent County Bulldogs will go offensively again, as they will start with Michael Hoisted, the sophomore quarterback, in a shotgun formation with a pair of wide receivers, one split out to either side, and Martinson and Hanson on the far sideline here. Fargo Oak Grove, a little 4-4-3 defensive line as they get this one ready to go on the far hash. Shotgun, Hoisted, little read option play. This one going to get to about the line of scrimmage and met there here for the Sargent County Bulldogs. Able to get right back to the line, and that is about it. The run there by Colton, able to get back to the line. So it's going to make it now second, and they'll actually give him a loss of 1 yard. So 2nd and 11 coming up, ball spotted at the 41-yard line. As this will come out 2nd down and along 11. Sargent County in the shotgun formation. 4 men will rush for the Grovers. Hoysted goes in the flat, find his man in Christensen. Christensen gets to the numbers and then taken out of bounds at the 35-yard line. He is tackled there by Andrew Green. Green comes in on the tackle, and we have a Grover down. This one looks to be Alcivar, as Alcivar might have got the wind knocked out of him. It is a little bit over a 7, making an 8-yard pitch and catch, as Hoysted was able to get to the near sideline here and just pop it out of bounds to Christensen. And we will take a quick break, as well as right now Jose Alcivar, the defensive lineman, the junior, will be stepping out here for a moment. And we'll see if they can maybe just bring him back up if it was a stinger, or they're going to work on the knee. So we will take a injury timeout as well. It will be 3rd down and short upcoming for the Sargent County Bulldogs at the Grover 34 when we come back here on your live event.
Abuse can affect anyone, and each person's experience is different. Abuse is about power and control, and it is not always black and blue. A loving relationship should not be threatening, accusing, isolating, or include violence of any kind. The Abuse Resource Network provides services to start living the life you deserve. For more information, visit abuseresourcenetwork.org.
Well, the good news is Jose is able to come off the field under his own power. You just wonder, maybe knee on knee where you get hit, maybe you just kind of get popped the wrong way, and want to make sure everything's kosher and good to go. As now the rain is starting to come down a little bit heavier, more in the face of the Sargent County Bulldogs, while for Fargo Oak Grove is more at their back right now. Opening drive here for the Bulldogs. Ball spotted again at the 34-yard line of the Grovers after a great kickoff start here for Luke Martinson, able to have a 40-plus yard kickoff return to open the season home opener here for the Bulldogs. Fargo Oak Grove, they're kind of the nomads this year, playing all their games away from their downtown campus. 3 games at Davies, 1 at West Fargo, 1 at Moorhead, then going everything on the road. Here in the backfield now, it's going to be Luke Martinson in the gun. Martinson takes it right up the middle, and he's going to get wrapped up by Andrew Green, the senior, right back at the 34-yard line. So Martinson is able to get back to line, and will make it 4th down and short here. Make it 4th and a long 3. The Bulldogs at the 34 will need the 31 for the first down upcoming here for Sargent County. Already seen a little bit of a wrinkle there, putting Martinson more in a wildcat formation as Hoysted comes back in the shotgun. Fletcher Wilprecht in the slot. We'll see what the Grovers do here on 4th down. Will they bring pressure? They bring 5. Rolling out Hoysted. Had a man in the flat. Incomplete. Looking for Hansen, and that'll be a turnover on downs. So it's going to be a turnover on downs here for Sargent County. Well, for the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers, they will get things going here 1st and 10 at the 10:22 mark of this first quarter, and they will have it at their own 34-yard line. And again, with the slick conditions that you have with the ball and everything else, shotgun under center snap and just making sure you have proper control of the ball. We'll see how that plays a factor as this evening goes along. The Grovers led out by Riley Backyard, the senior quarterback, one of 9 seniors here for the Grovers on the offensive side of the ball. You got twins to the left, as you're going to be in the shotgun formation with Jesse Peterson, the halfback. 2 wide receivers split out left-hand side. Griffin Olsen in the slot. Motion man is Schumacher. This one going to be a handoff to Peterson, and Peterson's going to get past the 35, then wrapped up to about the 36-yard line. Looked like Luke Martinson it is on the tackle. Actually checked that. Josh Wittich, the junior, 6'5" at 195 pounds, able to come in at that defensive end spot and able to get a couple of yards on the rush. There was the running back in Peterson. So you got wide receivers of Schumacher and Quinter, tight end of Francis. The line up front is Torres, Hermstead, Sunderland, Baker, and Green. Here for the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers. We'll get to the Bulldogs starting 11 on the defensive side here in a moment. Nearing the 10-minute mark, first drive for the Grovers offensively as Schumacher splits out to the near sideline. We'll see what the Bulldogs do here with a pair of tall defensive ends in Martinson and Wittich. QB keeper here by Backyard, and he's going to get past the 40, gets to the 41. He's wrapped up there that time by Martinson, but not before a gain of 5. Makes it third down and manageable here, a long 3, 3rd and 3 for the Grovers. Sargent County defensive tackles of Isaac Harris and Grady Wielander, linebackers of Zernhell Christensen and Kadoon, corners of Dingenstein. You have Hansen, Wilprecht, and Berg here as well for Sargent County defensively. Third down upcoming, a pair of runs here for the Grovers as they're now in the pistol formation for Backyard. Jesse Peterson will be the lead blocker here. Backyard gets the first down and able to split out to the far side, and he gets wrapped up past the 50 to the 47. And that's going to be a 9-yard gain there for the Grovers. 14 yards on 2 attempts so far. Wilprecht in on the tackle for Sargent County makes it a 1st and 10 Grovers here as the first time today. Fargo Oak Grove now in the Bulldog territory. Make sure throughout the season, we got all the home games for both Oak Grove and Sargent County on Your Live Event. Go to yourliveevent.com, and we have a host of Region 1 action too. Northern Cast tonight, Lisbon tonight. Also on Your Live Event, and Kindred at Hillsborough Central Valley. 1st and 10 here for the Grovers. Shotgun formation, trips to the near sideline, handoff. That goes to Peterson, and Peterson gets wrapped up right at the line. So far, the guys that have stand out are 2 that Melvin Whitney Jr. talked about. The defensive ends of Martinson and Wittich have been all over the field. One thing Melvin Whitney Jr. said, it just seems like for the last 5-6 years when we played Sargent County, they just have long, lengthy, really quick defensive ends that can just fly around to the football, and that's what we've seen by Martinson and Wittich so far here today. Fargo Oak Grove, so far we've had a host of plays. 4 of them all have been on the ground. 2nd and a long 9 here for the Grovers as they spread out the formation yet again. This one going to be a little quick screen to the near side of Peterson, who gets popped, and it's going to be a tackle for a loss. Great job by Colton Kadoon, the junior linebacker, reading that one perfectly, and it's going to be a loss of 2. I was trying to get the ball out there as Backyard, and as he threw it, it wasn't the cleanest spiral, but again, with the Mother Nature and the rain, sometimes how it evens the playing field for either team. If one team really wants to throw 30 times, you might have to go to your running game. If one team wants to run, well, then you can kind of pull your ears back a little bit and just fit your lanes, hit your gaps, and try to get a 3rd down and long like the Bulldogs defense able to do here. Where does Oak Grove go on 3rd and 11? They will need the Bulldog 37 for the first. Bulldogs, they're going to bring 5. They get to the quarterback. Backyard throws it deep down the field at the 20-yard line, but incomplete as they were looking for Schumacher. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and more than likely a punting situation here for Fargo Oak Grove. So Backyard 1 of 2 today for -2 yards passing. Able to get there quickly. Really good coverage on the outside by Sargent County as well as they were looking for Spencer Schumacher, the senior, down the near sideline. So punting now will be the quarterback as well. Back here for Sargent County is Nick Hansen. So Backyard stands back at his own 43. Play clock down to 17. Able to get this one off a line drive kick that goes to about the 20, rolls to the 15-yard line and takes a dive there at about the 12, make it the 13-yard line as it'll be 1st down and 10 upcoming here for the Sargent County Bulldogs. So punt for Fargo Oak Grove, which means Sargent County will get their 2nd start with the football today at the 7:04 mark here for Sargent County, back at about their 12 or 13-yard line. You can count it there. Sargent County will come out after that opening drive, able to have hoisted with an 8-yard reception to Christensen. Pair of runs, one went to Kadoon, one went to Martinson, and that was it after a really good opportunity on the kickoff return, unable to do much with that. But Hoisted went 1 of 2, and now deep back in their own territory. And as this game moves along, it might be more of a possession game depending on how much precipitation Mother Nature wants to bring. Overcast skies, but knock on wood that lightning stays away, because otherwise it's a half-hour delay before it can get going again. But right now, not the worst in terms of crops. They're trying to get the grass a little bit greener, but not the greatest to always play through. Handoff. This one goes right up the middle to about the 15-yard line for the Bulldogs. Looks to be Christensen there, and it is. Christensen gets to the 15, gets a couple of yards there, second and about 7 or 8 upcoming. So Christensen so far 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, able to get to the 15-yard line. Sargent County in their dark blue uniforms for the tops, for the Oak Grove Grovers out in their all white and then their maroon helmets. Love the helmets for both teams. The Grovers have the OG on one side, the Grover emblem on the other. Sargent County has their Bulldogs logo on the right side and their number on the opposite side. Shotgun formation, trips the near sideline. One split out to the right is Hansen, as Hoisted has some time going one-on-one down the field. This is to Hansen, the 40, but then came out of his hands as he was spinning at the 42. Really nice ball by Hoisted. It was single coverage on the outside. Griffin Olson there on the coverage, and it was able to get in the breadbasket for a second to Hansen, but as he came around with that wet football, unable to bring it in. What would have possibly been close to a 30-yard gain becomes an incompletion, and now makes it first down, 1 of 3 for Hoisted, as it's a long third down now for the Bulldogs. One person is going to be insurmountably valuable tonight is the official Lance Lukes, who has to place the football down every time, but he has a little bit of a towel there trying to clear as much mud, grass, and everything else off throughout this particular contest. So 3rd and 9 here for Sargent County. Shotgun formation. Motion man going right to left across the formation is Wilprecht. Hoisted, pocket collapses. Now he's going to try to run for it, and he gets wrapped up for a loss. That goes back to about the 12-yard line. Yet Griffin Olson was part of the party there. Also Andrew Green. And now it's going to be a punting situation here for the Bulldogs. So 4th down and about 12 here for Sargent County at the midway mark here. It's the Bulldogs and the Grovers. Winner gets to 1-1 on the season. Also, more importantly, 1-1 in Region 1 play. Top 4 teams from the region make the postseason. Coming back to punt here for the Bulldogs is Josh Wittich. Right-footed kick that's coming to the home sideline here. Bounces at the 26 and rolls to about the 27-yard line. Going to be a 15-yard punt, and for Fargo Oak Grove, they were able to flip the field, and now they're going to try to take advantage of it after a 3 and out here. So the second possession for the Grovers, best starting field position of the day, deep inside Sargent County territory at the 27-yard line. 5:24 left to play here in the first quarter. One thing Sargent County head coach Eric Olson was saying earlier to us in this contest, saying, you know, if we can minimize mistakes as the Bulldogs and try to limit the big play, those are some keys for Melvin Whitney, head coach for the Grovers, saying if the line can play well on both sides of the ball, they will have a chance, not just in this game, but throughout the season, and that's what they want to see here tonight. Backyard in the backfield by himself. QB keeper has a lane, then Wittich is there, and Wittich able to wrap him up with a host of other Bulldogs to about the 23-yard line, so 3, maybe 4 yards on the rush. 3 carries now for 17 yards. And the Grovers trying to get into that red zone for the first time today. One thing we've seen by Oak Grove, though, really wanting to spread the field out, get their playmakers in space. And hey, if you miss a tackle, you miss a read. Backyard does have the ability to break something. That's what Eric Olson said watching film this week. The quarterback in Riley, he's the guy that they really have to try to key in on and contain as best as possible. Pistol formation, motion man in the backfield is Griffin Olson. Little triple option play. The dive goes right down Broadway to Peterson, and Peterson gets past the 20 as he spun. The ball came up, but they're going to say forward progress was already granted to about the 16-yard line, and that's going to be awfully close to the first down, and they will give them the first down on the rush. First down for Fargo Oak Grove. So Peterson able to get 3 carries now for 10 yards. 1st and 10 for the Grovers. Ball spotted at the 16-yard line with 4 minutes left to play here in the opening quarter on your live event. A little wrinkle in that formation. You bring almost more of a wingback formation. but more in the pistol spot and able to bring Schumacher in the backfield. Then you just read the play, and well, Peterson was able to go right between the tackles that time and pick up the first down on the rush. Play clock down to 3, down to 2. Bakkegaard gets it off. This one going to be flipped and a broken tackle. Peterson is there, breaks another tackle. Still on his feet. Peterson in the end zone. Touchdown, Grovers. This one goes 20 yards to Painter, and the Grovers take the first lead of the day on a little shovel pass. Bakkegaard to Peterson for 20 yards. Second reception of the day to Peterson. They roll Bakkegaard left. They pitch it and a little shovel pass there for Bakkegaard, and just well executed by Fargo Oak Grove. So Bakkegaard to Peterson for the touchdown, and here comes the point after attempt with Luke Johnson as the holder. That's going to be the aforementioned word throughout these. Andrew Green here is going to be the long snapper, the holder here in Bakkegaard. This one is going to be blocked at the line, hits the crossbar and bounces in. The Grovers have some luck on the second drive there, and a new score with 3:37 left to play in the first quarter. Oak Grove leads it by 7. Bulldogs get the ball when we come back on your live event.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
From all of us at Enbridge, thank you.
Thank you.
Miigwech, and thank you for working on Line 3 replacement.
Thank you to everyone who supported this project.
Construction is complete on a new and safer pipeline that will deliver the North American energy that we all rely on every day. And is done thanks to the support and hard work of thousands of people. I'm grateful for every single voice of support and every hour of labor put into this project. Thank you.
Well, for Fargo Oak Grove, they go 27 yards in about 1:45, and it's capped off with that little shovel pass to Peterson. This one kick going to go out of bounds, and great starting field position here. It's our first flag of the game, and this will be great starting field position for Fargo, for the Sargent County Bulldogs. Bulldogs turnover on downs on their first possession, then a 3-and-out on a punt on their second. So Fargo Oak Grove will have their third defensive possession of the game, which will give Sargent County the ball at the 35-yard line. This will start at the 3:37 mark, and if you're Sargent County right now, just want to get something going offensively and try to pick up a first down or two at least here. Let's see if you can get this one going in the right direction as Hoisted comes back out in the pistol formation. Handoff, trying to break a tackle there was Christensen. He does, and he keeps the pile moving from maybe what was going to be a yard loss to a yard gain. Brady Baker, the junior defensive lineman, in on the tackle. So Christensen with 2 carries for 3 yards here for Sargent County with 3 minutes left to play in the opening quarter. Bulldogs and Grovers here. Sargent County has won 4 straight in the series dating back to 2018. Last win by Oak Grove, September 1st of 2017, 41-24, and formerly what was known as Class A football in North Dakota. So second and long here for the Bulldogs. Hoisted, 3-step drop in the gun, steps up, fires, throws down the middle. Wittich, he's at the 40. Wittich to the 35, and a first down. Bulldogs into Oak Grove territory. That's a gain of 27 yards. Check that, 29 yards. 1st and 10, Sargent County. Wittich, tall drink of water, so you might as well throw it to him when you can, as Wittich stands at 6'5" and 195 pounds, and able to bring the first down here with 2:45 left to play in the opening quarter here for Sargent County. Nice pocket, and Hoisted was able to step up, fire down the middle on a deep seam, and picking it up there is Wittich. He stands again at 6'5", Martinson at 6'4", so if you can get it by the first part of this Grover defense, you have a chance with some 1-and-1 situations. Wilprecht goes into the backfield. It's a jet sweep. Wilprecht gets the numbers, cuts back into the 30, and he gets popped. Andrew Green delivered the goods defensively, but not before Wilprecht able to get 7 yards, makes it 2nd and 3. 2nd and short upcoming here for Sargent County. Ball will be spotted at the Grover 28-yard line as we're at the 2-minute mark here in quarter number 1. Region 1 football on your live event, Tier 11B North Dakota football. Glad you're tuning in. Umbrellas are out, rain jackets are out. Kind of feels like the spring sports season all over again, even though we're still in August before Labor Day weekend, which comes next week. 2nd and short, little read option, handoff Christensen, and a hole came, but taking it and ripping it down was Alcivar, which is good to see him back in there. It looked like for a second you had a little lane there for Christensen to make a crease. He does gain a yard, but wrapping him up there was Jose Alcivar to make it 3rd down and short. Christensen, 3 carries, now for 4 yards. Wilprecht, the leading rusher, with 7. So far, Hoisted through the air is 2 of 4 for 37 yards, with his longest reception coming to Wittich here earlier on this drive. 3rd drive of the game for the Bulldogs late here in quarter number 1. 2 wide receivers split out either side. Christensen in the backfield with Hoisted in the pistol formation. Grovers, they're going to bring 5. Little cutback option here for Christensen. Andrew Green on the tackle. This is close to the line of gain. They needed the 25, and it looks like it's going to be at the 25.5-yard line. So Christensen will get close to the 1st down, but they will have to get past the 25 for the 1st. And for Sargent County right now, about a 10-second differential between the play clock and the game clock. So they have to run one more play here in quarter number 1, and they're going to go for it. 2 wide receivers split on either side. Wittich in the slot on the far side. Wilprecht in the slot on the near side. Hoisted in the gun. Handoff. Christensen tries to cut back. He can't. Coming in unevaded is Foster. Lord, my Lord, for Foster gets the tackle for a loss back at the 28-yard line. Christensen tried to put his foot in the ground and try to get north to south, but as he put his foot in the ground, Foster was there to make the tackle for a loss, and it's a turnover on downs. So turnover on downs the 2nd time here for Sargent County, as the Grovers will have their 3rd possession of the game with 8.2 seconds left to play here in the 1st quarter. And this will start back at their own 28-yard line. So can the Grovers capitalize after giving up a big play to Wittich? Then they build the wall and able to get the turnover on downs. Handoff. This one goes right up the middle to Peterson again, and Peterson gets past the 35 to the 37, makes it 9 yards on the rush to end quarter number 1. That option place coming up and proving really nice so far here for the Grovers. After 1 quarter play, the lone difference, Oak Grove, Bockyguard to Peterson, a 16-yard reception for 7 with the point after attempt by Johnson, and that's the only scoring here after 1 quarter. We go to the 2nd quarter next here on your live event.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
As we come back here to Gwinner, we mentioned it was about low 60s, some rain when we started the game. Well, the rain is coming down a little heavier here. It's still mid-60s. Fortunately, we don't have too much wind gust that's coming on, but right now, the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers will have it 2nd down and short starting the 2nd quarter of play. Chase Miller with you here in Gwinner. Harry Newstow running the camera here. Coming up at the half, we'll take a look at the 1st half numbers. Also, your out-of-town scoreboard, as we have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 games tonight here on your live event, all with Region 1 implications. Kindred at Hillsborough Central Valley in a non-region game, but a top 5 game. Linton HMB against Lisbon. And then also tonight, you have Ellendale Edgeley Cullum in a contest at Northern Cass in Hunter. 2nd and 1 for the Grovers. Motion man coming across is Shoemaker. QB keeper by Backyguard, and he's going to get stonewalled right at the line and maybe even lost a yard. Wittich was there, it looked like. Also, Wielander on the interior. And that's going to make it 3rd and short here for the Grovers. I'll say that Backyguard able to get right back to the original line. So 3rd and short here for Fargo Oak Grove. Grovers after tonight will have a game against Oaks from West Fargo High School next week. Well, for Sargent County, they will make the long travel to the geographical center of North America in Rugby. Inside dive, and Peterson able to get to about the 39 before he was tripped up. Well, we'll just say by the turf there. But Peterson able to get a couple of yards for that first down and get it to the 39-yard line. 5 carries now for 21 yards, and that particular play has been there here tonight for Fargo Oak Grove, where they bring the motion man across. Backyguard's just a read option at that point, or at least it maybe might be a particular dive to Peterson, but it looks like a triple option, at least from the surface. Backyguard in the backfield by himself right now. One wide receiver split out near sideline. That Shoemaker. Twins to the right-hand side in the pistol. Make that the slot as Peterson comes across on a jet sweep. Peterson to about the 45-yard line as Zernhelt, the junior linebacker, in on the tackle, but not before a gain of 6. And we're seeing right now this Oak Grove team having some ability to get to the outside, get to the boundary, and try to particularly use players in space. And Eric Olson, the head coach for Sargent County, said in our pregame show, that's the one thing that Melvin Whitney Jr. has done throughout his time for the Grovers. If he's got a playmaker, find a way to get them the ball in space, whether it's screen, a jet sweep, or throw the ball 30 yards down the field. Backyguard. Motion man is Olson yet again. There's going to be a dive right down the middle, and Wilprecht is there to come up and get, Wittich is there to get the nice defensive tackle. A gain of 1. Looked like there was going to be a lane for Peterson. Then Wittich just brought the big bear hug and brought him down for a 1-yard gain. So Peterson, 6 carries for 22 yards. Wilprecht, the safety alongside with Peyton Berg. Dingenstein is a corner with Nick Hansen here for Sargent County. Oak Grove lost against Central Cass last week, 34-14. Bulldogs lost against the Oaks Tornadoes on the road, 45-8. So 3rd down here. The Grovers need their own 49 for the first. Backyguard tries to get a hard count. QB keeper now gets a lane and gets the first down and some past the 50 to the 48-yard line. Going to be 6 yards on the rush. Tackle coming here for the Bulldogs in Wielander, but 6 yards on the gain here for Backyguard on the QB keeper. That's what makes it so tough with a ability to run like Backyguard has, is you can just use your halfback or fullback as a lead blocker and open up a lane. And they were able to seal on the inside Martinson that time. And once they got by Martinson, Backyguard was able to get the first down and some. So 1st and 10, Grovers break the huddle with 15 seconds left to play here on the play clock. Nearly the midway point here of this second quarter as we're getting close to that 8-minute mark. First down here for Backyguard. Rolls the pocket, right-hand side is going to keep, gets to the outside, and the Bulldogs with a nice wrap-up. There's Wilprecht, the senior. Fletcher just came in, read it the entire way, goes for the ankles. That was a textbook wrap-up tackle for a loss, and it's a -1 loss on the play. Nice job by Fletcher reading the play and then coming in and sticking Backyguard for a tackle for a loss near midfield. 6 carries for 22 yards now for Backyguard. The same goes for Peterson as well. Olson with a carry for 6 yards for Fargo Oak Grove. 2nd and 11 with continuing to play through the rain here for both squads. This one goes a little option play. This one now does go to the outside. That's Griffin Olson to the numbers 40. First down 30, close to get to the 30-yard line. Gavin Christensen in on the tackle down at the 32-yard line. That'll be 17 yards and a first down for Fargo Oak Grove. 2 carries now for 23 yards. And, well, we've seen that dive play to Peterson probably 5, maybe 6 times. And they finally said, you know what, let's go with the option play. And once Backyguard was able to pitch it and get it to Olson, Olson had some room and some lane to run through on the outside as he did, gets the first down. both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining here in half number 1, a game that kicked off just over a half hour ago. 2 wide receivers, right-hand side, Schumacher in the slot, as they're going to have Olsen, the wingback, Peterson, QB keeper now to Baki guard. Peterson unable to get the tackle there. If they bring Peterson down, really good tackle wrap up there by Sargent County on the outside. Nick Hansen was part of the party. They'll make it 2nd down and 10 here for Fargo Oak Grove as they go from one hash to the other. So Bulldogs did a good job keeping Peterson corralled, and then once they saw Baki guard on the keeper, you could hear the near sideline yell, keep, and then that's where Sargent County had to really try to go. But the Grovers right now, this drive started back at where it almost is, their own 28-yard line with 8 seconds left in the first quarter. This drive has gone 5+ minutes now for Fargo Oak Grove. Just 5 yards in a cloud of dust, it's kind of felt like a little bit here. Inside handoff, there goes Peterson. Peterson to the 25-20. Look out to the 15 to the 10. Stiff arms a man and gets pushed out of bounds close inside the 5. It looks like the 4-yard line, and that's where it's going to be. A really nice run on that particular play, as that's going to be for 30 yards and makes it 1st and goal. We've seen the option just continuing to be that player here for that play call for Fargo Oak Grove. And when you have success with it 1 or 2 times, you're going to keep it going. And that's what they've been able to do so far. So 1st and goal now for the Grovers. Ball spotted right at about the 5-yard line. Maryland I formation. Peterson dots the I. Baki guard under center. Handoff. Peterson makes a cut. Then he's wrapped up there. Gets back to about the original line. And for the Sargent County Bulldogs, it's Grady Wielander in on the tackle. And we do have a flag on the far side of the field. We'll see if it's an inadvertent flag or if it was a procedure penalty on either side. It looks like that might have been an inadvertent flag. So I'll make it 2nd down. One thing when you see the official immediately pick up the flag, normally that means he didn't mean to throw it. Might have thought that it could have been a fumble, try to dust the baggie out there. When you leave the flag, then you definitely know that there is a penalty upcoming. Maryland I formation yet again. 6 seconds on the play clock for the Grovers. Baki guard under center. Handoff. Peterson zips to the left-hand side. Is he in the end zone? He is. Touchdown, Grovers. That goes for 5 yards, and Peterson for the 2nd time today hits Pater, this time on the ground for 5 yards, and Fargo Oak Grove leads it 13-0 over the Sargent County Bulldogs. So a touchdown here for Fargo Oak Grove that spans over 6 minutes of time and goes 72 yards as the Grovers will come on here. They've already made 1 point after attempt with Luke Johnson. He hit one crossbar going the other way. We'll see if he can hit another crossbar here. But the Grovers lead it by 2 possessions now, and Sargent County will have to kick off in the second half as well. So a large drive upcoming for the Bulldogs. High snap, bobbled snap. Baki then going nowhere is coming in on that one. Going to be Wilprecht back to the 15. So the point after attempt is no good. But the Grovers extend their lead. They lead it by 13 here on your live.
Kate's Kennels is located in Castleton, North Dakota. We offer boarding for all of your furry companions. Whether you're going on vacation or you have an emergency, we are here for you. We know they are a member of your family, and we will treat them as if they were one of our own. Kennel tours are always welcome. Check us out on Facebook at Kate's Kennels or visit our website at kateskennels.com. Give us a call at 701-347-4176 for all your furry friend boarding needs.
.549 left to play here in the first half. Chase Miller, Henry Nuso with you here in Gwinner, North Dakota, where Fargo Oak Grove, after a punt, back-to-back touchdowns here, one that goes 27 yards and the other that goes 72 yards, but a drive that amasses 6+ minutes for Fargo Oak Grove. What it does now is put Sargent County in a situation where if they have a quick 3-and-out, Grovers could try to get the ball back and get up by 3 scores. If you're Sargent County, hey, let's find a way to get Josh Wittich the ball one more time, get some solid runs out there, and then try to make it a close ball game going to the half and get it back to one possession. That's what Sargent County is going to have to do or look to do. Luke Johnson will put this one on the tee at the 40-yard line. The right-footed kick goes end over end. Nice-looking kick to about the 15-yard line there for the Bulldogs as Sargent County gets to about the 40, and the Bulldogs able to get to the 45-yard line. So a really great return here by the junior at 6 foot, Colton Cadoon, to the 45. That was a 30-yard return. And Sargent County, one thing that we've seen is they've had really good starting field position here today outside of one particular time. 5:41 left to play in the first half. Bulldogs have had it at the Grover 41, their own 12, their own 35, and now their own 45. So if you're the Bulldogs, you got to like where you've been able to start the particular possession at. Now it's just trying to punch one into the end zone. Nick Hansen in the near sideline here. Shotgun formation as Hoisted in the gun. Handoff goes to Christensen. Christensen has a lane to the 50, inside Grover territory, 45, first down, and he's breaking the tackle to the 41-yard line. 14 yards on the run by the senior Gavin Christensen. 6 carries now for 17 yards. It is the longest rush of the day for the Bulldogs. Their longest play is a 29-yard reception to Wittich. Clock stops at 5:32 left to play as he gets pushed out of bounds for the first down, but Christensen able to get through the line, and we mentioned both coaches said it. If the line can play a little bit better than last week for Sargent County and take care of those little things, Eric Olson said we would have a shot in the fourth quarter. Melvin Whitney Jr. said if the line plays well for both sides, we're going to find a way to be in a lot of ball games this season. Christensen spins his way and able to get another yard spinning forward for a gain of 3. As he had a couple of Grovers there in on the tackle. Able to get 3 yards, though, for Christensen. 7 carries now for 20 yards. As we're seeing some new players coming in here for Fargo Oak Grove. Brady Baker, defensive lineman, able to come in on that one. Also, Andrew Green, we've said his name a lot. Spencer Schumacher on the middle linebacker spot here for Fargo Oak Grove. Second down, ball at the 36-yard line here under 5 minutes to play in our opening half. One wide receiver split out either side with Martinson on the far sideline. You have Nick Hansen on the right. One-on-one opportunity here for Sargent County. Play clock down to 3. They're going one-on-one. Number 1 to Hansen. Down the field. Incomplete, though, at the 10. But we do have a flag. Coverage there for Oak Grove was with Griffin Olson, the sophomore. Flag comes in. We'll see if it's holding pass interference or what the play is, but they took the shot one-on-one. And if you're going to put a defensive back on an island, Sargent County's going to try to exploit that, and we'll see what the penalty is on. Haven't seen the hanky out too much here today for either team. Pass interference, they'll mark it for Fargo Oak Grove, so that'll be the Grovers' second penalty of the game. One was on a kickoff violation. And for Melvin Whitney Jr., he's not going to like that particular play, but you'll take it 10 yards from the spot of the foul, 15 yards from the spot of the foul, and be a first down from the original line of scrimmage. So go from the 38 to the 23, and that'll be a large penalty by the Grovers because number 1 gives them the Bulldogs a first down, but number 2, it puts the Bulldogs now right in the door of the red zone. 4:37 left to play in the first half. Handoff, Christensen. Christensen breaks a tackle, keeps the pile driving. He's got Grovers left and right trying to bring him down, and Christensen awfully close to that first down. As that's going to be just shy, it looks like, of the first down for about a gain of 9 yards. 8 carries now for 29 yards for Christensen. We're at the 4-minute mark here of this first half. Again, both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. And speaking of timeouts, we might get one there, or maybe it's just officials' timeout here. As we'll see what this is about. Could be maybe just getting the wrong ball. Could be Fargo Oak Grove had a ball. Well, it was supposed to be Sargent County, or they're going to bring the chain gang. So they're going to bring the chain gang out for the first time tonight to see if it's close enough for the first down here. If that's the case, it'll be first down Sargent County. If not, second and short at about the 15-yard line. At about the 15 here for the Bulldogs. Still to come on our halftime show, we'll take a look at scores across the region. One score for you. Last we heard, EEK over Northern Cass 7-0 in Hunter as they stretch, and we'll give them the 10 yards. So Christensen, 10-yard rush. Now 8 carries for 30 yards makes it 1st and 10 upcoming here for Sargent County right at the 15-yard line. As we saw with Oak Grove in the running game, continue to get better a little bit each drive. We're seeing it here on the 4th drive of the game now for Sargent County. Wide receiver split up both left and right. Hoisted in the gun. Handoff. Christensen makes a cut. Not one, but two, and then comes back in, and Andrew Green was ready for him to bring him down. Spencer Schumacher also there, about a yard by Christensen. Christensen had the first cut, maybe need to keep it in between the tackles. Could have maybe got close to a 2, 3, 4-yard gain. Instead, try to bust it outside one time and try to get a little bit farther down the field. And now if you're Sargent County, you want to score, but also if you can try to take some time off the clock here and not give Oak Grove a lot of time to work with, because, again, the Grovers get the ball to start the second half as well. Hoisted shotgun formation coming up here. Martinson split out left-hand side. Hanson, they're going to the tight end. Wittich, incomplete. Clock stops near the 3-minute mark here. Hoisted now 2 of 5 for 37 yards passing and makes it 3rd down upcoming here for the Sargent County Bulldogs. Bulldogs, 2 of the last 4 years have made the playoffs, quarterfinals in 2018 in Class A, and they lost to Grafton in the Class A first round in 2020. For Fargo Oak Grove, their last playoff appearance came in 2017 in what was formerly known as Class A. Shotgun formation, 2 downs here for the Bulldogs. They don't need the score, but they need to get close to about the 5 for the first. Oak Grove showing pressure. Now they back out of it. Hoisted, handoff, and getting maybe a yard is Christensen, as the Grovers had a couple of defensive players there coming in on the tackle. Yeah, Green there also in on the tackle was Jose Alcivar, the defensive lineman, the D tackle, and give Christensen 1 yard on the rush. So 10 carries for 32 yards. 4th down upcoming. Eric Olson wants a timeout to talk it over. We'll break with him. 2:35 left to play here in the first half. It's Sargent County and Oak Grove. Sargent County will have it with a 4th down and long when we return here on your live.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
Reminder this season, all home games for Fargo Oak Grove and all home games for Sargent County you can watch right here on Your Live Event. You missed the game, check it out online on YouTube by searching Your Live Event as well. And you can watch it for free and watch it on demand. After the timeout by Sargent County, they'll have 2 remaining, 4th down and 9 for the Bulldogs. They will need to get close to about the 4-yard line for that first and then try to punch it in the end zone after the timeout by Eric Olson. We'll see where they go offensively here. Shotgun formation, we've seen this a time and again. Hanson the right-hand side. Melvin Whitney Jr. wants a timeout, and they'll get it. Melvin Whitney Jr. able to bring on his track shoes and saw the particular situation, and he was beelining it down the far sideline to call the timeout. As he does, the Grovers will buy their first timeout here of half number 1. We'll keep it here. Melvin Whitney Jr. was at about the 30-yard line, and then in a full dead sprint was going down, yelling timeout, calling timeout, and got it just in the nick of time because the snap was off, but the official granted him the time. Our officials here tonight, Brian Yanish, Ryan Schneider, also Lance Lukes, Dale Undum and Matt Brunvold here this evening for Fargo Oak Grove. Coming up, we'll get to our halftime show brought to you in part by our friends at First Class Mortgage. First Class Mortgage is more than just a company name. It's the way they do business. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing your existing mortgage or their dedicated team takes the time to understand your financial situation. They provide first-class service, first-class knowledge, and a first-class experience at the lowest interest rates. For more info, go online to firstclasscorp.com. So 2 minutes and 34 seconds left to play in the first half after the timeout by the Grovers. Shotgun. Having time. Hoisted goes to the back left corner. It's caught for a touchdown. The Bulldogs get in for the first time today. They hit Pater from 11 yards out. This one goes to the junior Luke Mortensen, and Hoisted delivers the goods, and the Bulldogs are back within one score. 11-yard touchdown. 48 yards passing now for Hoisted. Mortensen with his first catch of the night. And now Sargent County will see what the situation is. Go for one, try to get it down to 6. Go for 2, try to make it a 5-point ball game. It looks like Sargent County, with the field conditions as well, they will elect to go for the 2-point conversion here for the Bulldogs. Hoisted back in the shotgun. Christensen to the left. This to make it a 5-point contest here for Sargent County. Hoisted goes into the slot. That's going to be caught there. Breaking a tackle, getting close to the pylon. He's in! The spinorama by Fletcher Wilprecht, able to break him loose and get the 2-point conversion. And the Bulldogs are back within 5. 2:27 left to play in our opening half. We're back after this with the kickoff here on your live event.
Fact. High schools need every sports official they can find. Want to ensure that kids keep playing? Become an official and a leader. Over 25,000 North Dakota student athletes participate in statewide school-sponsored sports programs. Sports provide students with real-time training for real life. Teamwork and planning under pressure provide our young men and women with skills that will serve them throughout their lives. Without officials, high school sports wouldn't exist. It may be more.
If you want help from a firm who has integrity, respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the benefit of the community, then look no further than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys are dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsboro, and Castleton, or visit our website at www.onsteadlaw.com.
For the Sargent County Bulldogs, a great possession that goes 55 yards and amasses over 3 minutes and 30 seconds. This one just going to get topped on there by the Grovers at about the 33-yard line. So Fargo Oak Grove will have their 4th possession here of the first half with 2:23 left to play. Again, 2 timeouts for both teams remaining, and we'll see if the Grovers can go through the air, but that last drive for Sargent County, 55 yards, 3 minutes, and make it 14 seconds comes off the clock for the Bulldogs' second touchdown here of the 2022 season. Fargo Oak Grove, so far through the air for Bockyguard, is 2 of 3 for 16 yards, make that 14 yards and a touchdown. Motion man, the backfield is Olson. Play action. Bockyguard going to pitch it out to Olson. Incomplete. He's getting right up the middle by the bull rush there. And Isaac Harris looked to be part of that. Also, we'll see coming in there in Elliott Roeder, a senior at 6'4", trying to make a little bit of play on the outside. And Wittich as well. So the clock stops now. And for Fargo Oak Grove, with 2:19 remaining, they get the ball to start the second half. How aggressive does head coach Melvin Whitney Jr. want to be here? I mean, close to about 50 minutes of game time. Halftime show brought to you in part by First Class Mortgage upcoming. I'll get you ready for the second half. But after the Grovers got up 13 rip, Sargent County responded with a touchdown. Now, can the Grovers respond? 2nd and 10. Bockyguard pocket collapses, breaks out of a sack. He's still loose, flips it down. That's going to be incomplete to the 45. A nice heads-up play by the senior. What could have been a 10-yard loss makes it 3rd and 10, but 2 quick incompletions stops the clock, and all of a sudden we've seen the passing game for Sargent County come to life a little bit here in the second quarter. If you're Eric Olson, if Fargo Oak Grove maybe runs the ball, doesn't get it, do you call the timeout to still have 2 minutes to work with and a timeout in your back pocket to try to close out the first half? As it continues to rain and downpour even a little bit more here in Gwinner, rain jackets have been out throughout the afternoon since we got here. Sargent County, 5 men at the front. Motion man coming in. Triple option pitch to the right-hand side, and Fargo Oak Grove's going to be close to the first down. Looks like they got it with Schumacher, and they did. But we have a flag back at the 43-yard line. Right now, it's a gain of 11 and good enough for a first down. Able to fake the dive to Peterson. Bakigar got that ball out quickly on the option and able to get to the outside with Schumacher. Out-of-town scoreboard, Linton HMB in Lisbon tied at the half at 6 in Lisbon. A personal foul face mask after the play. So for Sargent County, we haven't seen too many flags today. Now you're going to have that particular run by Schumacher able to go for 11 yards, and then you're going to get the penalty on top of that. So give the 11 yards on top of the personal foul penalty, and that means another 15 yards. So as a 26-yard differential on 3rd and 10 to now Fargo Oak Grove knocking on the door close to the Bulldog 40-yard line. They'll spot it at the 41. Well, Fargo Oak Grove now, after a 3rd and 10 where you thought, how conservative will you get if you're Melvin Whitney Jr., run the option, get the first down, and now you can really start moving the ball a little bit more and open up the playbook. Bakigar, QB keeper right up the middle, and that's going nowhere. Getting stonewalled that time was Bakigar. Elliott Roeder in on the 6'4 senior, and Bakigar also took a shot as he is down. I think they'll take a quick timeout as they're going to look at Riley here. We'll see if he comes off the field, if it maybe was just a quick hit, and you hope that it's nothing more than maybe just the wind getting knocked out of Riley. But they're going to take a look at his left leg. We will break after this. Oak Grove will have it 2nd and 10 when we come back on your live.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region with the Coaches Show every Wednesday night on YourLiveEvent.com.
Goes deep down the middle, has a man, Soka Porter! Soka Porter to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and taken down there.
We'll dive into the latest stories from North Dakota and Minnesota.
And there's the block by Reese.
That's the Coaches Show with me, Joe Lancello, on YourLiveEvent.com every Wednesday night starting at 7.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Riley Bakigar comes off the field, and he's going to be coming off, not under his own power. He's got an arm around the trainer, and mark this down at the 2:01 mark left in the second quarter. Fargo Oak Grove will have to go to Schumacher now. Spencer, the senior wideout, goes to quarterback now. Spencer, QB keeper, past the 40, and that's going to get a couple of yards, and that's about it. Gavin Christensen with Martinson on the tackle. And a timeout here by Eric Olson for Sargent County, his second. We'll keep it here with 1:46 left to play in this first half. So 2-yard rush there by Schumacher. Now 2 carries for 13 yards, but all eyes are on Riley Bachegard, short-term and long-term. Short-term here for the Grovers in terms of their senior QB and what this means moving forward in this game, but also next week against Oaks and so forth. Also, Riley, a really good basketball player as well for Coach Card and company. So you hope that if it is an injury, it's just something that if he has to miss time, it's maybe just this game and that's it. He can come back next week. But if it's anything more severe, we'll find out as Melvin Whitney Jr. kind of coming over and trying to see if he can get some more news as well. But the good news is all the pads are still on for Riley across the way. But that's something to make note of once we get to the second half. But Spencer Schumacher coming out right now here for the Grovers on the wide receiver front. Griffin Olson on the outside. Also with him now, it's going to be Brady Downabauer. Peterson, instead it's going to be the QB there in Schumacher to about the 43-yard line, a tackle for a loss for 4 yards. So now it's fourth down here for Fargo Oak Grove. Timeout by Sargent County. That'll be their third and final timeout with 1:40 left to play here in half number one. It's the Oak Grove Grovers 13, the Sargent County Bulldogs 8 on your live event. YourLiveEvent.com continues to come down and rain in this one. And looks like it's coming on to punt here for Fargo Oak Grove will be Luke Johnson. Johnson is the place kicker and the man who handles kickoffs. Riley Bachegard is the man who handles punts. So not only does Bachegard going out change things up from an offensive standpoint as your starting quarterback, but it changes things up as well in your point of view as a special teams assignment here as a punter. His back is going to be Nick Hansen at his own 15-yard line. Oak Grove with 2 timeouts remaining. On the opposite side here, the Bulldogs are done in this first half. Snap. Johnson gets it off. A wobbler. We do have a flag back at the 50-yard line. As it stands right now, this punt only goes 8 yards, and the Bulldogs would have it at the 35, but we'll see what the flag is and who it's about. Right now, if you're Sargent County, an 8-yard punt, you might not want to have them do it again or do it again and see if maybe you have something where the ball goes over the punter's head or maybe slips up or you can get a block punt and take even better field position of it. So a decision to be made here. Holding, this will be at the 44-yard line is where the place of the spot is going to be. And this is before the ball was kicked. So they're going to re-kick is what's going to happen. So the Grovers will have their third penalty of the game for now 25 yards, and you'll spot it from the 44-yard line. And now for Fargo Oak Grove, they'll have to come out and do the kick one more time. And for Eric Olson, he's going to say, hey, let's get the Grovers to punt it. Yeah, another couple seconds might come off the clock, but you know what? We might get a potential better return. Might get a ball that goes over Luke Johnson's head, or maybe it's just another 8-yard kick and you gain an extra 10 yards of real estate. So see if it pays off for the Bulldogs. Here comes the kick, end over end, and that one's going to be a roughing the kicker or running into the kicker. We'll see what happens as this goes to the 27-yard line. Is it running or roughing? Martinson was trying as best as possible to hold up after he wanted to go for the block. This is going to be back at the 36. This is going to be roughing the kicker. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and that's an automatic first down to boot. So Sargent County having them re-kick will give Fargo Oak Grove some new life. Second penalty now for 30 yards. And now all of a sudden, it's Oak Grove back in business here with under 90 seconds left to play in the first half. The second quarter, we've only seen Oak Grove had it with 8 seconds left in the first quarter. Since then, the Bulldogs have had it once, and now Oak Grove has had it a second time. Compared to the first quarter, where we saw a couple of 3-and-outs and some quick touchdowns. First down upcoming here for Fargo Oak Grove. Schumacher back to the 42-yard line. QB keeper Schumacher gets the 35 and to about the 33-yard line. So 5 yards on the carry. 4 carries now for 14 yards here for Schumacher. Coming in on a tackle for the Sargent County Bulldogs, Elliott Roeder. a senior, makes it second down and medium here for Fargo Oak Grove. And the Grovers not too quick to want to try anything here with, again, Riley Backyard. He is going to the locker room right now ahead of the rest of his teammates, which is not a good news if you're a Fargo Oak Grove fan out there. So this looks like it's going to be Spencer Schumacher's the rest of this contest here at the quarterback spot. Schumacher, QB keeper yet again, and Spencer able to get the first down, keeps moving before he finally gets popped by Wittich to bring him down close to about the 25, and Melvin Whitney Jr. wants a timeout with 30.6 seconds left to play here in the first half. So timeout on the field. We'll keep it here, but Schumacher just spinning and popping and moving his way down the field from the 33-yard line to about the 25, so 8 yards on the carry. 5 carries now for 22 yards for Schumacher. Peterson, 9 carries for 60 and a touchdown. And Backyard, he's got 8 for 22. One thing Oak Grove has done well tonight is have a good average in terms of per rush. Normally you're getting 3, 4, 5 yards and keeping it right on schedule with the line to try to gain for a first down. But now, with 30.6 seconds, clock stops with the automatic first down. Clock stops if you get out of bounds, and Oak Grove has one timeout remaining. Riley Backyard is in the end zone. You can kind of see him on your screen on the far post at the light. He's in the end zone just kind of waiting to see what this team does, saying, you know what, I want to watch my teammates compete. Let's see what kind of happens from there, and maybe see what the outcome of this one is. But Riley right now does not look like he's going to be coming in for the rest of this contest, as he's putting a little pressure on the trainer as well. But wants to see his fellow teammates, see if they can wrap up this first half and try to get in the end zone for 6. Schumacher back at the 30-yard line. Peterson comes across. Peterson, they're going to throw it down the field. It's picked off by Fargo Oak Grove at the 5. Little trickeration as Peterson throws it, as that's going to be picked off, and that might end this first half of play. First turnover of the game for Fargo Oak Grove. Wilprecht able to get there, so you fake the jet sweep, try to get the secondary to bite. Peterson had a man for a second, a little underthrown, which allowed Wilprecht to get there with the INT, and that could possibly put a bow on this first half of play at about the 10-yard line. Here is Sargent County, and we'll see what the Bulldogs will come out with, as Hoisted going to come out in the shotgun formation. One wide receiver split out either side with 25 seconds left to play here in this first half. Hoisted QB knee. Melvin Whitney Jr. has one timeout remaining. We'll see if he calls a timeout or not. Again, with the slick conditions, you just never know. Melvin Whitney looks to say, nope, we're good. Let's get to the half, and that's what they might possibly do. Now, Melvin is saying, hey, team was running on the field before the half, which you throw a potential flag on that one, which would stop the clock, and then you'd have to have them do it one more time. But instead, that's just how it's going to end. So this first half will end with a final of the opening 24 minutes. Oak Grove 7 points in the first quarter, 6 points in the second. Sargent County 0 points in the first quarter, 8 points in the second. After one half of play, it's Oak Grove up by 5 on the Bulldogs on your live event.
Can affect anyone, and each person's experience is different. Abuse is about power and control, and it is not always black and blue. A loving relationship should not be threatening, accusing, isolating, or include violence of any kind. The Abuse Resource Network provides services to start living the life you deserve. For more information, visit abuseresourcenetwork.org.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
From all of us at Enbridge, thank you.
Thank you.
Miigwech, and thank you for working on Line 3 replacement.
Thank you to everyone who supported this project.
Construction is complete on a new and safer pipeline that will deliver the North American energy that we all rely on every day, and is done thanks to the support and hard work of thousands of people. I'm grateful for every single voice of support and every hour of labor put into this project. Thank you.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
As we're at the half here, it's Fargo Oak Grove and the Sargent County Bulldogs. 13-8, Fargo Oak Grove leads over the Bulldogs here on your live event. Chase Miller with you for the play-by-play. I'd like to thank Harry Newstill providing the camera work here. And let's get to our out-of-town scoreboard here at the half before we take a look at the first half numbers and some of the particulars that have happened so far here tonight in Winter. Here on your live events at the half, Northern Cass leads Ellendale Edgeley Cullum 21-13. Also on your live event, Kindred all over Hillsborough Central Valley. It's the Vikings 21, the Burros scoreless. And then at the half in Lisbon, Linton HMB 6, the Broncos 6 as well. Again, all three of those games plus this game is on your live event, and we'll continue to provide some out-of-town scores here throughout the nights. Last that we heard in rugby, in 11B football, Rugby 6, Carrington scoreless in that contest. Mayport CG leads Hankinson right now at the half. Mayport CG 30-12. The Patriots over the Pirates. Halftime in 9-man football, Kidder County over Beach 8-6. Grant County Flasher, New Salem Almont. That game is tied currently at 24 apiece. Vikings right now with over 200 yards rushing, by the way, in the first half against Hillsborough Central Valley. So those are some of the scores across the state of North Dakota. Good news in every division, 11A, 11AA, 9B, and also 11B currently right now in action. Take a look at the first half scores. The Grovers got out with a Riley Bockyguard to Peterson, little 16-yard shovel pass with 3:37 left to play in the opening quarter. Point after attempt by Luke Johnson. It hit the upright and bounced in, or hit the crossbar and bounced in. Made it 7-0 Grovers. Then with 5:49 left to play in the second quarter, Grovers score again on the rushing touchdown by Peterson. As Peterson was able to get the rushing score, as he was able to get in from 5 yards out. That was a touchdown there for Peterson as well. And then for Sargent County, 2:27 left to play. Hoisted to Martinson, an 11-yard touchdown pass on a fourth down where Eric Olson called a timeout. Then Melvin Whitney Jr. calls a timeout. And Hoisted threaded the needle to Martinson. Wilprecht with a 2-point catch from Martinson made it 13-8. And that's how we have our first half of play so far. For Sargent County, they had 5 possessions in that first half. Turnover on downs, punt. Turnover on downs, touchdown, and then they had the half for Fargo Oak Grove. Turnover on downs to start, a punt to start, touchdown, and then the interception there. Peterson with that interception as Wilprecht was able to pick it off. When we come back after this, take a look at the first half numbers. After one half of play in Gwinner, it's the Oak Grove Grovers 13, the Sargent County Bulldogs 8 on your live event.
Kate's Kennels, located in Castleton, North Dakota. We offer boarding for all of your furry companions. Whether you're going on vacation or you have an emergency, we are here for you. We know they are a member of your family, and we will treat them as if they were one of our own. Kennel tours are always welcome. Check us out on Facebook at Kate's Kennels or visit our website at kateskennels.com. Give us a call at 701-347-4176 for all your furry friend boarding needs.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
Fact. High schools need every sports official they can find. Want to ensure that kids keep playing? Become an official and a leader. Over 25,000 North Dakota student athletes participate in statewide school-sponsored sports programs. Sports provide students with real-time training for real life. Teamwork and planning under pressure provide our young men and women with skills that will serve them throughout their lives. Without officials, high school sports wouldn't exist. It may be more.
If you want help from a firm who has integrity, respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the benefit of the community, then look no further than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys are dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsboro, and Castleton. Or visit our website at www.onsteadlaw.com.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
And welcome back to our First Class Mortgage halftime show. First Class Mortgage. You can check them out for more information at firstclasscorp.com. That's firstclasscorp.com. More than just a company name, it's the way they do business. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing your existing mortgage, their dedicated team takes the time to understand your financial situation. For more information, again, go to firstclasscorp.com. And thanks to First Class Mortgage for being a sponsor throughout the season here on your live event. Make sure you patronize any of our sponsors that we have here. Without them, we could not be here this evening. Taking a look at the first half numbers. First for the visiting Fargo Oak Grove Grovers, 141 yards of total offense, 127 yards on the ground on 24 carries for an average of just over 5 yards per pop. Fargo Oak Grove led on the ground by Peterson, 9 carries, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Also, Backyard, who again came out of the game with just over 2 minutes left to play in the first half, 8 carries, 22 yards. Olson, 2 carries for 23, and you have with him Schumacher, 5 carries for 22 yards here for the Grovers. 4 different rushers with 20-plus yards so far for Oak Grove, led by the 60 with Peterson. A Backyard right now through the air, 2 of 5 for 14 yards, touchdown. Peterson threw the interception, so as a team, Oak Grove 2 of 6 for 14 yards, 1 pick and 1 touchdown. Peterson with both receptions, 2 receptions, 14 yards here for the Grovers. Grovers with 3 penalties for 25 yards and 1 turnover in that first half. On the opposite side for Sargent County, 83 yards of offense, 35 on the ground, averaging 2.5 yards per rush so far for the Bulldogs. Through the air, though, 48 yards and 1 touchdown. Leading rusher right now for Sargent County has been the Bellhorse. That's Christensen. 10 carries for 32 yards here for Gavin Christensen. 1 carry for Wilprecht for 7 yards. You have Martinson, 1 carry for 0. Cadoon 1 carry for -1, and Hoisted 1 carry for -3. Hoisted, though, through the air 3 of 6 for 48 yards and a touchdown. Completions of 8, 29, and 11. The 8 went to Christensen, the 29 went to Wittich, and the 11 went to Martinson. 1 catch for 11 yards and a touchdown. 2 penalties for 30 yards, and for Sargent County, 0 turnovers in that first half. So that's a look at the first half numbers. If you're just joining us, we had a conversation with both coaches and Melvin Whitney Jr. and Eric Olson earlier here on the broadcast. And here's a couple of things that they just kind of said that would allow them to find a way to get to the fourth quarter and maybe have a chance to win. For Sargent County, Eric Olson said, if the guys up front can do their job, try to keep the QB clean, open up some lanes, they'll have a chance if they can take care of the ball and limit the big play. They've been able to limit the big play. They've been able to take care of the ball so far through 24 minutes. And the big guys up front have held their own against a little more experienced O-line and D-line here for Fargo Oak Grove. And one thing that Eric Olson said after their loss against the Grovers, at Oaks last week, 45-8, said the one thing we were telling our guys this week in practice was stay the course. Things will get better. Mistakes are going to happen. We got some talents mixed with some inexperience. So we'll see how week number 2 goes to week number 1. That was from the Sargent County side. On the Fargo Oak Grove side, Melvin Whitney Jr. said, hey, it was first game of the season against their ranked opponent in Central Cass. That was a measuring stick kind of a game. Very physical, especially in the first half. Second half, able to find more rhythm and consistency, trying to keep it and carrying over tonight where they have scored 2 touchdowns. The one thing, though, they said, both teams have said it, and Melvin Whitney specifically said when asked him about starting the season 1-1 in region play instead of 0-2, he goes, if you're 0-2, that's very tough to come back from in a very top-heavy region with Kindred and Central Cass. If you can get to 1-1, who knows what happens throughout the year just because of injuries or something of another like weather that we're seeing here tonight in Gwinner. You just never know on a particular night. So those were a little bit of the things that we talked about earlier today here with both head coaches. Again, this is our First Class Mortgage halftime show. The good news, we're starting to see some clouds filter a little bit more through. The rain has stopped, and we'll see if that continues when the players for both Fargo Oak Grove and Sargent County retake the field here in the second half. The Sargent County Bulldogs, a little series history. The Bulldogs have won 4 straight and 6 of the last 7 against Fargo Oak Grove. Last season, a close contest, 22-20 on September the 17th. Last Oak Grove win comes back on September the 1st of 2017, 41-24. Oak Grove history, looking for their first playoff appearance since 2017. The Grovers, 9-man in 2013-14 Class A, 2015-2020. 11B, which is formerly what Class A was as well. The Grovers back in AA are the second highest division in North Dakota from 2005, 2010, 2017 title winners over Devils Lake in Class AA, Class B winners in 1982. On the opposite side for Sargent County, they made the playoffs 2 of the last 4 seasons, quarterfinals in 2018, first round appearance in 2020. At the time, the co-op of Milner North Sargent, runner-up in 2013 and 2010 as well. The co-op of Sargent County, Foreman, Gwinner, and Milner. Again, you can watch all the games, home games for Fargo Oak Grove on your live event. The same for the Sargent County Bulldogs as well here throughout the season. As Oak Grove is back on the field, they're coming back on. For Sargent County, they're making their way back on the field as well. There'll be 3 minutes put back on the clock, and then we'll get ready for second half of play. So again, the football game, Fargo Oak Grove getting ready to go. If you're just joining us late in the first half, quarterback Riley Bockyguard was taken out of the game with look like a knee injury. We'll see where he is and how he's doing in the second half, but it looked like he was getting taken to the locker room and his night potentially would be done. If that's the case, again, you hope nothing more than just a minimized injury for tonight. See if he can come back next week against an Oaks team who's playing the Central Cass Squirrels here this evening in Oaks. So that's a large Region 1 game as well that's going on in that particular contest. But they got everything set. We'll take a quick break. When we come back after this, it's the third quarter. That does it for our First Class Mortgage halftime show. It's Fargo Oak Grove up by 5 here on your live.
Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region with the Coaches Show every Wednesday night on YourLiveEvent.com.
Goes deep down the middle, has a man, Soka Porter. Soka Porter to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and taken down there.
We'll dive into the latest stories from North Dakota and Minnesota.
And there's the block by Reese.
That's the Coaches Show with me, Joe Lancello, on YourLiveEvent.com every Wednesday night starting at 7.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
As we come back here in Gwinner, we get ready for the third quarter of play. 13-8 right now, the lead for Fargo Oak Grove over the Sargent County Bulldogs as we get ready for at least what we have guaranteed another 24 minutes of high school football. Again, Sargent County won the toss, elected to receive. So Fargo Oak Grove will start with the football in this second half of play. Again, for more information, volleyball gets underway this weekend and next week as well. We really get into the full throttle both in Minnesota and North Dakota next week. Minnesota volleyball, Mahnomen-Waubun on Monday night. Then football gets right into it as well. So again, YourLiveEvent.com. That's YourLiveEvent.com to find out your local area team that's going to be playing throughout the season. In North Dakota, we'll have 11A, AA, 11B, 9B football here throughout the year on Your Live Event. Sargent County will kick this one off at the 40-yard line, going right to left. Back to receive for Fargo Oak Grove here will be Olson and Schumacher here for the Grovers. Again, winner goes to 1-1 on the season. Loser drops to 0-2 and also 0-2 in Region 1 play. Kicking this one off for the Sargent County Bulldogs will be Grady Wielander, as this will be at the 40-yard line. And just like that, when we said there was no rain at half, the players are back, the football is on the tee, and the rain comes back like it knows that we're going to get ready to play some more football. Squibbler that goes to about the 39-yard line, and Fargo Grove just smartly there just takes it at the 39, jumps on the ball, and that looks to be like William Olson. Olson able to get on that one at the 39-yard line. Third quarter, Fargo Oak Grove, good starting field position here. And this will be at their own 39, and the question is, who's going to be at quarterback? And we saw Spencer Schumacher finish the half at quarterback, and Schumacher is coming out now here at the QB spot for the Grovers. Two wide receivers to the near sideline. You have Peterson in the slot, Quinter across the numbers here. 1st and 10 for Fargo Oak Grove is taking a look at the numbers and making sure they get the play clock to 25 as they got it. Shotgun formation, as this would be Schumacher. Motion man, the backfield is Olson. Little jet sweep to Olson. Olson makes a cut, spins out of a tackle, and then he's going to get taken down at about the 43-yard line for about a 4-yard rush. Nice spin move, able to give him a couple more yards there. And Olson now with 3 carries for 26 yards on the evening. Second down upcoming. One possession game. Grovers scored the first 13 points. Sargent County scores the next 8, and that's where you are right now in this third quarter of play, with Riley Bachegard not coming out here in this second half. As Fargo Oak Grove will handle it here. 2 wide receivers near sideline, 1 to the left-hand side. Schumacher, shotgun formation. The Bulldogs right now with 5 men up front. Snap, Schumacher, QB keeper, gets close to the first down. It's going to depend on the spot. He needed the 49, looks to be at about the 48. He's 6 yards on the rush. Back-to-back carries. This one for Schumacher here, 6 carries now for 28 yards. Makes it 3rd down and 1 upcoming here for Fargo Oak Grove. Men up front so far, Wheelander, you got Harris also playing over the center right now. For the Bulldogs is Elliott Rolder. That's been a little change up on the line for Eric Olson after the first quarter. 3rd and a short one. Snap, QB keeper, and going nowhere is Schumacher, and here comes the Bulldogs. Able to have a couple of gang tackles right there. The man who blew it up right to start was Isaac Harris. And that's going to be a 2, maybe a 3-yard loss. And Luke Johnson comes up, looks to punt. So that'll be a 2-yard loss and 7 carries now for 26 yards. So Fargo Oak Grove looks like they're going to have to go 3 and out on their opening drive. That takes about 2 minutes here. Johnson stands back at his own 35 for the Sargent County Bulldogs. Nick Hansen back at his own 25. Clean snap. Johnson. Here comes the end over end. Best kick we've seen today by the Grovers. Bounces at the 20, rolls to 15. Picks up at the 6-yard line. There is Hansen. Hansen makes one Grover miss. Needs a tackle. Needs a block, Gets it to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, 35-yard line. And Hansen makes a lot out of nothing. To the 33, a 27-yard return on the punt. And for the Sargent County Bulldogs, 1st down and 10 with good starting field position. It's a 3rd quarter here for Sargent County with 9:36 left to play in the 3rd. They'll start at their own 33-yard line. And if you're Eric Olson, you got to love that 3rd quarter quick 3 and out, get the ball back. If you're Melvin Whitney Jr., it's one of those where your starting quarterback comes out, you have the lead. How can you continue to have the lead going into the 4th and then maybe rely a little bit more on your defense? As they're going to make sure they got the ball spotted properly. They said the 35, they move it back to the 33, and that's where we'll start things off here with Hoisted in the shotgun formation. Handoff, Christensen past the 35-yard line to the 36. Andrew Green, part of the party to keep him down, and also Jose Alcivar in on that tackle. Going to be 3 yards on the carry for Christensen. 11 carries now for 35 yards on the night here for the Bulldogs senior at 6 foot 200 pounds. Sargent County after tonight. Road game against the Panthers in rugby, then hosting Ellendale, Edgeley, Cullum, and Milner on September the 9th. For Fargo Oak Grove, they're home to Oaks, then at Kindred for their next 2 weeks, and the Vikings taking it to the Burros so far in the first half, up 21-0 in 11B football. Handoff, this one gets the 40-yard line, wearing the number 25 for Sargent County. That's Colton Cadoon. And Cadoon gets the 1st down, looks to be 7 yards on the rush. And Sargent County coming off the field will be Zernhelt, the right guard. And for the Bulldogs right now, having to make a quick little line change here with that. So switching some guys around on the offensive line now for the Bulldogs. Looks to be in there. Kotke, John, in now at right guard. Handoff, Christensen gets past the 45 to the 47-yard line. Andrew Green yet again on the tackle. If we had a defensive player of the game, Andrew Green would be all over that. So far, 4 yards on the rush for Christensen, though. 12 carries now for 39 yards. A very workmanlike, sturdy-like game so far for Christensen. And the clock now under 8 minutes here in this 3rd quarter. First possession of the 2nd half for Sargent County. One wide receiver splits out right-hand side, and Hansen to the near sideline is Martinson. Shotgun formation here for the Bulldogs. Play clock down to 10. Hoisted, high snap, QB keeper, gets the outside, and he's going to get met for a loss. Back to the 45-yard line. Containing his leverage there was Jesse Peterson, and he's able to wrap up Hoisted back to the 45-yard line for a loss of 1. Good job right there, just making sure that one you try to turn Hoisted back in and not maybe just go for the quick cut in the tackle. And if Hoisted was able to break a tackle, he might have been able to get close to the first down. Instead, really good looking wrap up there by Peterson, the senior linebacker. He said his name a lot offensively, but maybe not as much defensively here tonight for the Grovers. The Bulldogs need the Grover 47-yard line for a first. 3rd and 8 at their own 45. Christensen handoff. Christensen makes a cut, breaks one tackle, keeps it going to about the 50 as he stretches close to midfield. As the Grovers on the inside, Brady Baker was there and Andrew Green. And Green up top, Baker down low. It's a gain of 5 and not going to be enough for the first down for Sargent County. It's a decision time here for Eric Olson. The punter is Josh Wittich. We'll see if they come on and punt the ball or they maybe try to get a hard count here. Play clock down to 19. Right now, Sargent County looks to go for it again. They need the Grover 47-yard line at midfield. Hoisted, Grovers are going to blitz. Hoisted goes into the flat. They got it on a tip ball. This goes to Wittich at the 40. Wittich 35, and Wittich has the first down to the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. 18 yards on the pitch and catch. And that one is going to be to Wittich for the first down. 47 yards receiving now for Wittich. 66 yards passing for Hoisted, and that one got deflected just enough at the line. But coming across was Wittich there on the reception. First down Bulldogs, a drive that started with 9:36 left to play in the third quarter at their own 33, has surpassed now 4 minutes on this drive. Ball spotted at the Grover 33-yard line. Shotgun formation again for Hoisted. Kadoon breaks a tackle. Kadoon to the 25. Kadoon close to the 20-yard line, down at about the 22, and it looks to be enough for the first. It is for 10 yards. Kadoon now 3 carries for 16 yards, and a little 1-2 combination there with Christensen delivering the thunder. Kadoon bringing a little bit more of the lightning package. And how big is that missed extra point by Oak Grove, but also the 2-point conversion right now looming for Sargent County. It's a difference in 1 to 3 points depending on how you look at it. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs right now. Ball spotted at the 22-yard line. Christensen handoff makes a cut, and Andrew Green was waiting in the hole and wraps him up. As we said, Andrew Green, he's putting a name on our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, at least defensively here for the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers. As that's going to be 2nd and 10 here for the Bulldogs. 14 carries, 44 yards for Christensen. Clock just at about the 4-minute mark. Just the second possession combined between the Grovers and the Bulldogs here in this third quarter. One wide receiver split on either side, Hoisted in the gun. And this is the snap. A little delayed action. This going down the middle has a man. That went off the hands on a deep post pattern to Hansen. Hansen beat his defender. He would have walked in for 6. Instead, goes right through his hands and brings up a 3rd down. That looked a little discombobulated from the start as Hoisted was pointing to his left saying, hey, here comes a free runner. Let's make sure we have the line protected right. At that point, the center hiked the ball and almost worked in the Bulldogs' favor. Clock does stop with 3:58 left to play in the third quarter. What's been not so much a back and forth game, but it's been a little bit of a teeth grinder here tonight in Gwinner. Shotgun formation, Hoisted in the gun. Grovers, they're going to bring pressure. They bring 5. They try to slid up the screen. Sargent County had the perfect play call as Fargo Oak Grove brought Foster Lord through the A-gap to try to get to the quarterback, and they were going to have the screenplay to Christensen. Just Hoisted couldn't get enough time to try to set his feet and get it to the flat. So 4th and 10 here. 3:53 left to play in the third quarter. Mark this one for those scoring at home. If Sargent County can get the first down, or on the opposite side of the Grovers defense can bend but not break. One wide receiver either side. They're doubling up the near sideline. Martinson one-on-one is Hansen on the right-hand side. Motion man left to right. Wilprecht in to the right hand. Now they're going down the middle. This one down the middle of the field. It's going to be caught. It's juggled and caught. The senior Gavin Christensen able to hook in from 22 yards for the touchdown. And for the first time tonight, the Bulldogs lead it 14-13. Hoisted had Hansen and Christensen in the same area. Christensen put his right mid out in front of it, able to bobble it for a second. Then he was able to bring it down for the touchdown. Touchdown, Bulldogs. 88 yards passing now for Hoisted, his second touchdown of the game. Christensen, 2 receptions for 30 yards and a score. And here comes a 2-point conversion for Sargent County to try to extend their lead. For the first time tonight, the Bulldogs have a lead. This one going to get tipped at the line. Wittich almost came down with it, incomplete. And the 2-point conversion is no good. But a new score with 3:45 left to play in the third quarter. Bulldogs up by 1. Kickoff when we come back here from Gwinner on your live event.
Abuse can affect anyone, and each person's experience is different. Abuse is about power and control, and it is not always black and blue. A loving relationship should not be threatening, accusing, isolating, or include violence of any kind. The Abuse Resource Network provides services to start living the life you deserve. For more information, visit abuseresourcenetwork.org.
Back here in Gwinner, where the rain continues to fall here with 3:45 as we see it in our camera. We might need to get a towel here in a second and wipe the camera off just a little bit more, but so far doing just fine. And Danny, thanks for those tuning in back at home. We've had a good one tonight here in Gwinner, a back-and-forth game. Right now, the third quarter, Fargo Oak Grove will have their second possession of the second half. But a drive that goes nearly 6 minutes for Sargent County, eats up 67 yards of offense, ends in a touchdown. Here comes the kick by Wielander, a slow squibber to the 42, and Oak Grove just going to pounce on it there and have great starting field position, as this one will be Domenauer able to get on it at the 42-yard line. So Oak Grove will come out 1st and 10 at their own 42, down by 1 possession, with under 4 minutes to play here in this third quarter. Fargo Oak Grove, their own 39-yard line and their own 42 to start drives off. 1st and 10 Bulldogs, as the rain is slowly but surely coming a little bit more now into our neck of the woods in terms of our camera. So we will get that taken care of here in between quarters in our next timeout. Both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. Grover's with the first 13 points of the game, and Sargent County responds with the next 14 points of the game. It's like basketball, game of runs, just now on the football field. Winner gets to 1-1 on the season. Loser drops to 0-2. Schumacher back out at the quarterback spot here for the Grovers. Option play, Peterson, and wrapping him is Wittich, but then Peterson somehow slithers out of Wittich's hands, able to get 3 yards and close to the 45. Peterson, 10 carries now for 63 yards. The Oak Grove in the first half, the play that they had their best outcome on was that kind of triple option play. You look at, see if Peterson is able to go down the middle. If not, you take it, and Bockygar was able to make the pitch. We haven't seen that so far with Schumacher a little bit here at the quarterback spot now for the Grovers. We'll see if we might see that play on this drive. Here's the option. Peterson cuts it back to the 45, past the 47-yard line, able to get a couple yards. Bulldogs say the ball came out late. Martinson says, I got the ball, but they're going to say the knee was down by Peterson and able to get 3 yards. 11 carries for 66 yards. If you're Sargent County, you feel that the momentum is on your side. Get a stop here, get the ball back. If you're Oak Grove, you just need to stop the bleeding. A first down would do wonders that way, and try to get the offense keeping on a humming and find some rhythm again with Schumacher now at quarterback. The Bulldogs are chanting defense on the home sideline. 3rd and 4 here for Sargent County. Hand up Peterson. Peterson gets met at the line, and he's wrapped up. Peterson gets about a yard, and that is it, as Zernhel comes in on the tackle. 12 carries for 67 yards, and if you're Melvin Whitney Jr., if you go for it, you give the Bulldogs great field position. But on the opposite side, if you punt it, you might be able to play a little field position and try to rely on your defense to get a turnover or maybe a quick stop. Luke Johnson stands back at about his own 36-yard line. Hansen back at his own 25 for Sargent County. Clean snap. Punt comes off, a wobbler that goes past the 30-yard line. Hansen picks it up at the 25. Hansen to the 30. Hansen with a stiff arm to the 35. Then he's hog-tied down there at the 35-yard line as the Grovers will come up with the tackle. And that looks to be Mason Hermstead in on a tackle. But the Grovers, 2 possessions, 2 punts to start the second half. And for Sargent County, they will have their second possession here of the third quarter at the 1:35 mark with good starting field position yet again. This will be at their own 35. Sargent County trying to make it 5 straight wins in this series over the Grovers and trying to make it 7 of 8. 94 seconds left to play in our third quarter. Chase Miller with you here from Gwinner. Harry New's still doing a nice job on the camera here tonight as well. Still have a fourth quarter left to be played, but right now if you're Fargo Oak Grove, since Riley Backegard went out of this game, it's felt like it's been all the team clad in blue, and the Grover defense is going to have to make a stop. Doesn't matter if it's a punt, doesn't matter if it's a turnover. They just need to get the ball back to their offense, still down by 1 possession somehow. This one, going to be a little jet sweep coming here in Sargent County. And Fletcher Wilprecht gets maybe back to the line, and that is about it. And they're actually going to make it a tackle for loss, and we have an injured Grover on the play as we will take a quick timeout, and they will attend to the injured Grover. It's 2nd and 11, 1:22 left to play in the third quarter here on your live.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
From all of us at Enbridge, thank you.
Thank you.
Miigwech, and thank you for working on Line 3 replacement.
Thank you to everyone who supported this project.
Construction is complete on a new and safer pipeline that will deliver the North American energy that we all rely on every day. And it's done thanks to the support and hard work of thousands of people. I'm grateful for every single voice of support and every hour of labor put into this project. Thank you.
As we come back here for the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers, the injured player coming off the field is A.J. Tyler here for the Grovers coming off the field here for Fargo Oak Grove. So now the Grovers will have to move some other pieces around here defensively as coming into the contest now is Mason Hermstead. As he will come in quick after grabbing a quick break on the bench. As he'll be coming out here playing some line. Hoisted in the gun. Christensen gets it. Christian makes a cutback. Then Christensen gets stuffed. And nice gang tackling there by the Grovers. Not 1, not 2, but 3 players are there. Brady Baker finished him off, but not before Christensen got back to line, and that was about it. Looks like Foster Lord was making a good hit as well. 3rd down and 11. As Christensen got back to line, and that was it there. 15 carries for 49 yards, and 3rd down upcoming here for Sargent County. Sargent County, 19 seconds left on the play clock here as they're just getting to the huddle. If they don't hurry, they might have to call a timeout as Hoisted quickly getting to the huddle as they break it with 8. Now it's down to 5 to 4, 3. Hoisted gets the play off. They're trying to go down the field. This one to Martinson, incomplete at the 50-yard line. And there is no flag on the coverage as Avery Quinner, the senior, one-on-one. Martinson trying to have that back shoulder play. Good job by Quinner getting there enough defensively to make it 4th down upcoming. Incomplete pass. Hoisted 2 of 4 in the second half. Make it now 2 of 5. He's 5 of 11 so far here today. So for Fargo Oak Grove, able to make a 3-and-out, get the ball back with a punt upcoming here for Sargent County. And the Grovers will see where they can have starting field position. Here's the punt, clean snap. This one going to be end over end. This one might be coming right at us. And that one goes over the top and right into the press box here as Wittich has the punt. And that one's going to go to about the 50, and they're going to mark it at the 48-yard line. So punt that goes about 13 yards will give Fargo Oak Grove starting field position in Sargent County territory with 20 seconds left to play here in the third quarter, and that'll be at the Bulldog 48-yard line of Sargent County. So for Melvin Whitney Jr., you got the stop you needed. Now you got great starting field position. Can the Grovers find the end zone one more time tonight, or will Sargent County's defense make a stand yet again here in this second half? Spencer Schumacher here at the quarterback spot. Low snap. Schumacher keeps it, gets it to about the 46-yard line before he's rolled up there, and they'll actually mark him down at the 47. And that could be the final play of the third quarter. 8 carries for 27 yards, and that'll do it for 3 quarters of play here from a rainy and wet, drizzling Gwinner, North Dakota tonight. It's Sargent County 14, Oak Grove 13. It's high school football on your live.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms, saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage, our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
Kate's Kennels, located in Castleton, North Dakota. We offer boarding for all of your furry companions. Whether you're going on vacation or you have an emergency, we are here for you. We know they are a member of your family, and we will treat them as if they were one of our own. Kennel tours are always welcome. Check us out on Facebook at Kate's Kennels or visit our website at kateskennels.com. Give us a call at 701-347-4176 for all your furry friend boarding needs.
As we get ready to start the fourth quarter, both teams again with all 3 timeouts remaining. So remember that as this game continues. Sargent County, though, leads 14-13, again heading to the fourth quarter here to get things underway. Coming up on our post-game show, brought to you in part by our friends at Tommy's Express Car Wash. We'll get to the final numbers in your out-of-town scoreboard. A little jet sweep here for Fargo Oak Grove. A flag coming in, and the Grovers able to get to the 49-yard line on the rush. Donna Bauer able to get to the 48-yard line. It is a tackle probably for a loss of 1, so he can either decline the penalty, make it 3rd and 11, or take him back 10 yards and go from the spot, which the spot is at the Grover 49-yard line. So 3rd and long, or it's from the spot and make it about 2nd and a country mile. So we'll see what they want to do here. Brian Yanish looking over at the sideline here for Sargent County, and we'll see if they accept the penalty or decline it. Holding right now on Oak Grove is the indication. And again, it's decision time because it's 3rd and 12, and move them back and maybe give them an extra down, and that's what they're going to do. So they'll redo 2nd down. It'll be from the spot. The original line was at the 48. You'll go from the spot at the Grover 49, so it's a 10-yard penalty, but really it's 13 yards of real estate that pushes the Grovers back to their own 39-yard line. 4 penalties for 35 yards here for Fargo Oak Grove tonight, and now 2nd, and as we mentioned, a country mile upcoming here for the Grovers. A difference in this game right now, a point after attempt that was unable to get kicked by Fargo Oak Grove, and Sargent County able to get 1 2-point conversion. Schumacher rolls right-hand side, has some time, flips it down the field. That one's going to be incomplete. Intended receiver on the far sideline for Fargo Oak Grove again was Donna Bauer. That'll be incomplete, and Sargent County's got a player down at about the 48-yard line. So 3rd down upcoming here. Schumacher now 0 for 1 passing here tonight. And there's an injured player, and we will break with them here on your live event. Sargent County up by 1. 3rd down and long upcoming here for the Grovers, and we come back on your live.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
Sargent County up by 1, but Oak Grove with the football. 3rd and 22 here for the Grovers. Schumacher in the shotgun formation. Trips to the right, 1 to the left. It's going to be a little speed option play. Goes to Peterson. Peterson going to get wrapped up and taken down by Luke Martinson for about a gain of 1, and that's it. So Peterson, 13 carries for 68 yards now. As the rain continues to fly here tonight, what's looked at particular times. You don't want to say snow because you know that's coming sooner rather than later, but when you just kind of look up in the lights a little bit, it almost looks like a snow globe at particular times here tonight, but we don't want to think about that at the end of August. Here comes the punt. Johnson back at his 30. This is going to go off the back of a Bulldog. The ball is live right now, and Sargent County able to get on that one. Luke Martinson went off his back at the 35, and then Sargent County and Grady Wheelander was able to recover at about the 37-yard line. So the official's going to talk it over here, but Fargo Oak Grove with 3 possessions in the second half. All 3 have resulted in punts. And Sargent County now with 11 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. They're going to have it at the 37-yard line of Fargo Oak Grove. And if you're the Bulldogs right now, here's the situation. A touchdown puts you up by 7. A 2-point conversion with the touchdown gives you a 2-possession lead. So if you're Sargent County, score 6, get the 2-point conversion, you feel pretty good. If you're Oak Grove, you can get up a touchdown, but you can't give up the 2-point conversion as we have a flag on the play and a false start here on the Bulldogs. 3 carries for 35 yards. Fourth quarter starts in Hunter. Northern Cassover, Edgeley, make that Ellendale-Edgeley column. It's the Jags 21, the Thunder 13. So a tight one up in Hunter as well. Sargent County will handle it 1st and 15 now here for the Bulldogs. Shotgun formation. Hoisted throws it. That one's going to be incomplete at the 39-yard line. So this will bring up a 2nd down and 15 now here for Sargent County. Again, both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. Still to come on our post-game show, our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. From there, we will also get to our RDK Enterprises Feature Precision Play of the Game. A lot of stuff to get to here with just under 11 minutes in the fourth quarter. Bulldogs shotgun formation for Hoisted yet again tonight. Christensen rips it up. He breaks not 1 but 2 tackles, and then he gets taken down on the 2nd by the Grovers there in Alcivar. But the Bulldogs able to get a big gain past the 42, the 35, and close to the 34-yard line. And that'll be an 8-yard rush for Christensen. 16 carries on the night for 57 yards. Able to split the difference on 2nd and 15, and now the Bulldogs will handle it here. Trying to get close to about the 27-yard line for that first 27-28 right now. Motion man left to right is Wilprecht. In the gun is Hoisted. Looking for the quick screen. They go out to the left-hand side of Christensen, and Christensen going to get wrapped up at the 30-yard line. Coming in like a rocket on the outside for Fargo Oak Grove. That was Foster Lord. If Lord does not make that tackle, Christensen would have had the first down. Instead, it was a reception of 3 yards. Christensen, 3 receptions for 33 yards and a touchdown here tonight. 4th down upcoming for Sargent County with under 10 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. One wide receiver, right-hand side to Hansen. Do you take the shot one-on-one, or do you go on the ground here and try to give it to you? Belkow in Christensen. Hoisted. We'll see if the Grovers blitz. They're going to bring some pressure. Here's the one-on-one. They're going down the field. That's going to be incomplete off the hands of Hansen, and we'll have a turnover on downs. That one was at the 10-yard line. Clock stops with 9:28 left to play here in the fourth quarter. And we have a turnover on downs as Fargo Oak Grove will have the ball here and a chance to take the lead as they come out on the field and look at Nick Hansen, the junior. He just might have had a little bit of cramps. We've seen that a little bit here in the second half as they attend to Hansen here on the field. As they're taking a look at him right now, we'll break as well, and we'll have the remaining fourth quarter for you as we get a little bit closer to come back here to Gwinner on your live.
Fact. High schools need every sports official they can find. Want to ensure that kids keep playing? Become an official and a leader. Over 25,000 North Dakota student athletes participate in statewide school-sponsored sports programs. Sports provide students with real-time training for real life. Teamwork and planning under pressure provide our young men and women with skills that will serve them throughout their lives. Without officials, high school sports wouldn't exist. It may be more.
Fargo Oak Grove just looking for a spark offensively since Riley Backyard again left the game due to injury. The spark that we've probably seen more times than not has been Peterson, but Sargent County kind of knows that, hey, you know what? If Schumacher's not going to throw the ball deep down the field, we're going to stack the box and try to make some tackles at the line. Peterson gets the ball right at the line, and that's one of the best pushes we've seen by the Grovers offensive front in a while as Peterson gets to the 35-yard line. Able to get about 4 yards on that rush for Peterson. 14 carries now for 72 yards here for the Grovers. Fargo Oak Grove will handle the ball here. This will be their fourth possession of the second half. 3 straight punts. On the opposite side for Sargent County, a touchdown punt, and now a turnover on downs for the Bulldogs. Second down for the Grovers. Peterson to the right of Schumacher in the shotgun formation. Fumble, ball's loose. Sargent County says they got it. We'll see if the Bulldogs have it. It looks like they do. They do. The Bulldogs come up with a football here, and that is a turnover, the second one of the game for Fargo Oak Grove. There's a pick, there's a fumble, and Sargent County's defense, just on what was a handoff between the quarterback and the running back Peterson, the ball in this wet condition hits the turf, and all of a sudden, it's a fumble here for the Grovers, and Sargent County in the same position they were just in moments ago. Great starting field position. Ball at the Grover 33-yard line with 8:43 left to play here in regulation. Christensen gets it, and Christensen's going to go nowhere trying to break out of a tackle, but here comes the Grovers defense breaking through the wall. And a couple of good plays. Baker and Alcivar were there, and that looks to be a 4-yard loss for Christensen. Right now, you don't want to say that either team's not playing to, so to speak, lose, but with Sargent County understanding where Oak Grove is offensively, you don't need to do anything fancy. Just try to find ways to milk the clock here, get a first down, and try to put it in for 6. And if you're Oak Grove, it might take a defensive pick 6 or fumble recovery or punt return as an example for a touchdown to maybe win yourself a ball game. 2nd and 14. Hoisted steps up, fires down the middle, got it to the 10, 5, end zone, reaches for the pylon. He's touchdown, Wilprecht. That goes 37 yards for the score. Hoisted to Fletcher Wilprecht on a little post pattern there, and the all-important 2-point conversion upcoming for the Bulldogs to make it a 2-possession game. Nice play there down the middle of 37 yards. Wilprecht with his first reception of the night, and he gets the touchdown. That's the 3rd touchdown pass for the sophomore Hoisted. And Eric Olson said he received a text on Saturday morning from Hoisted saying, hey, I know I got some stuff to learn from game number 1 against Oaks, and you could tell they had a really good week of practice here this week so far. 2-point conversion handoff. This one going to be short, it looks like, and it is. Goodun is stonewalled at the 1, and the Grovers still have life here with 7:55 left to play in the fourth quarter. It's a 1-possession game. Sargent County with their largest lead at 7. Kickoff when we come back here from Gwinner on your live.
If you want help from a firm who has integrity, respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the benefit of the community, then look no further than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys are dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsborough, and Castleton, or visit our website at www.onsteadlaw.com.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsborough or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Back here in Gwinner for the Oak Grove Grovers, able to get past the 20 to 30 to 35 yard line on the return. And Fargo Oak Grove again will have quality starting field position here in this second half, down by one score. So right now for Fargo Oak Grove, 7:47 remaining here. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line. They will need to go 66 yards down the field to try to find a way to get in the end zone. But where are they going to go? Offensively in the second half, they've been led by Peterson on the ground. 5 carries for 12 yards. You've had 3 carries for 5 yards for Shoemaker. And Shoemaker so far through the air 0 for 1. Schumacher 0 for 1. So might we see a bag of tricks upcoming here for Fargo Oak Grove? We will find out in a moment. First down and 10 here for the Grovers. Shotgun, handoff, this one coming to the near sideline for Oak Grove, and that one is going to go nowhere. With the stick for the Bulldogs is Zernhelt on the defensive side of the ball, as that's going to be a 3-yard loss to the backfield, as that was coming to Donenbauer there, and that's going to be a tackle for loss. So second down upcoming here for Fargo Oak Grove and 13. Ball be spotted at the 31-yard line as we're nearing the midway point of this fourth quarter. 2 wide receivers split out either side. Grover's trying to open it up a little bit here and maybe get a running lane for the quarterback. Schumacher, QB keeper. There's a little bit of a running lane. Gets past the first wave but can't get past the second. Gets those yards back, though, that were lost. So third down and about 9 upcoming here after Schumacher able to get 9 carries for now 31 yards. So third down and long upcoming here for Fargo Oak Grove. After a couple runs, the clock continues to wind, and now it's third and long again for the Grovers. 2 wide receivers left, 2 wide receivers to the right-hand side. Schumacher in the pistol formation. Schumacher. Speed option, gets the pitch off. This goes to Peterson. Peterson to the 35-yard line. Then he's going to get met there, and that maybe gets a couple, and that's about it. As coming in is going to be Gavin Christensen, the linebacker, as they're able to get a little bit, but not enough. And now if you're Melvin Whitney Jr., not enough to make you want to go for it here on a fourth down and long. So Oak Grove will go on to punt, which means Sargent County, when they get the ball back here, they can try to milk out the rest of the game or try to put it away with a touchdown. Low snap. Johnson does get this one off. It's a wobbler past the 45 to the 50. Takes a Grover bounce to the 47-yard line. So gets a little bit of extra on the bounce for about a punt of 19 yards. But Oak Grove has to punt again here in this second half. Sargent County, with 5:30 left to play in this fourth quarter, will handle it at their own 47-yard line. For Oak Grove, 5 possessions here in this second half. All 5 have been either a punt, 4 of them, or 1 fumble, but none of them have resulted and find the way to get the end zone. Oak Grove, if you're just joining us, led 13-0. And since it was 13-0 with 5:49 left to play in the second quarter, it's been all Sargent County since. Big reason why two of the quarterback spot and Bakigard getting injured. Kadoon gets to the 50-yard line, fumble on the play, and the Grovers get it at their own 45-yard line. Kadoon, the fumble comes out. He spun, the ball got popped. First turnover of the game on Sargent County, and we mentioned it might have to take a Grover defensive play to give Oak Grove a chance to get back in it. And coming out of it is Avery Quinner here for the Grovers. So first turnover of the contest, the fumble. And now Oak Grove is going to get the ball back here at their own 46-yard line with 5:23 left to play in the fourth quarter. Little speed option. Peterson gets it, makes a man miss. Peterson at the 50. Peterson puts the helmet down and gets to the 46-yard line. They'll give him the 45 for a gain of 9. 16 carries for 82 yards for Peterson, and that's been one of the better plays offensively in the second half for Fargo Oak Grove. Don't you go anywhere with the remaining 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Oak Grove with 3 timeouts remaining, Sargent County with 3 timeouts remaining, but how many possessions will be left? If you're the Grovers, you probably can't bank on more than maybe one after this possession that you might have a chance to get in the end zone. Shotgun. Schumacher cuts it in. First down to the 40. Schumacher carrying Bulldogs with him to the 35, down to the 34-yard line. An 11-yard rush, a gain of 9, a gain of 11, 20 yards just like that for the Grovers in 2 plays. And now it's 1st and 10 Oak Grove and the Bulldog 35. 10 carries for 42 yards for Schumacher. And if you're Fargo Oak Grove, 35 yards away from head coach Melvin Whitney Jr. 1 of 2 so far today on the point after attempt. Would you potentially go for the win on the road? But first things first, they need another first down and then a touchdown. Handoff, Peterson cuts it back in. Peterson gets stonewalled at the 35. 2nd and 10 upcoming here. Gavin Christensen in on the tackle, and Peterson, he's going to be injured. So Peterson, 17 carries for 82 yards, and Christensen kind of said something right away that, hey, you might need to go and check him out, and the trainers will come across the field and check out Peterson. We'll take a break with 3:44 left to play in the fourth quarter. Oak Grove with the ball down by 7, and one of their better players tonight here in Peterson is on the field getting attended to on your left.
Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region with the Coaches Show every Wednesday night on YourLiveEvent.com.
Goes deep down the middle, has a man, Soka Porter! Soka Porter to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and taken down there.
We'll dive into the latest stories from North Dakota and Minnesota.
And there's the block by Reese.
That's the Coaches Show with me, Joe Lancello, on YourLiveEvent.com every Wednesday night starting at 7.
So we come back here with 3:44 left to play in the fourth quarter. The senior Jesse Peterson's coming off under his own pressure. Just might have got the wind knocked out of him, but the good news is he's able to come off the field unattended. We'll have to sit out this play. So coming in and playing the running back spot here for Fargo Oak Grove to the left is going to be Foster Lord at the 39-yard line. Schumacher, QB keeper, gets to about the 30, trying to push maybe north to the 30. Instead, it's a 4-yard run. They'll mark him down at the 31-yard line. 11 carries for 46 yards makes it 3rd down and 6 here for Fargo Oak Grove. As the Grovers right now need the 25 for Sargent County in the next 2 plays. Just like that, Peterson is back in. Clock continues to wind, and with how much more time is coming off the clock, and because the Grovers are doing a majority of the work on the ground, this might be the final possession for Oak Grove. They both have all 3 timeouts remaining, but once you get under 2 minutes, it gets very tight. Play clock at 5, down to 4. Schumacher, motion man, gets the play off with 1. Option play, Schumacher cuts it in, close to the first down as he's going to spin, and It's going to be close to the 25-yard line. Looks to be short by about a half of a yard. So 5 yards on the rush. 12 carries for 51 yards. If you're Oak Grove and you're Sargent County, it's one where you both say, we'll take it. If you're Sargent County, you're one play away from getting the ball back to your offense. If you're the Grovers, you went from 3rd and 6 to a 4th and 1 as we're close to the 2-minute mark here. 20 seconds left on the play clock. As the Grovers will get the play in here with 12 seconds. Now down to 8 on the play clock. To 5. Schumacher, shotgun, QB keeper. Schumacher looks to have the first down. Enough of the first, and they're going to give him the first. Able to get the yard for the first down. Clock will stop. 13 carries now for Schumacher, over 50 yards, but the Grovers, with 1:52 remaining, they'll wind the clock here. Fargo Oak Grove, we'll see if they continue to stay on the ground or maybe take a shot through the air. It's been a lot of ground power here in this second half. 2 wide receivers split out to the right-hand side with Donabauer in the slot. Pistol formation on the way for Schumacher. It's a speed option. They're going to pitch it to Peterson. Peterson in the numbers, and he gets tripped up there by the turf, and he's able to get to about the 24-yard line, and there's a timeout by Melvin Whitney Jr., a gain of 2, timeout on the field. We will break with them with 1:25 left to play in the fourth quarter on your live event.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Still to come on our post-game show, brought to you in part by Tommy's Express Car Wash, which we'll all need after the rain here tonight. We will get to the look at the final numbers, also recap what happened across the region and more. That's all still to come on our post-game show here on your live event. As it's going to be second down upcoming here for Fargo Oak Grove. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Pistol formation again for Schumacher. As Peterson is in the backfield. Motion man going right to left across the formation is Donabauer. Going to be a QB keeper going down the field, having a step, looking for Olsen in the end zone, incomplete. You wondered when the pass play was coming. The Grovers want a pass interference play. Olsen had a step on the secondary. Wilprecht and Hansen were there on the coverage. It's 3rd down and 8. Nice play call by the Grovers, taking a shot after the timeout where you fake it one way, you come back to give your quarterback a little bit of time. There was just one man they were looking for, and that was Olsen. Olsen was behind the secondary. The ball was a little bit underthrown, which allowed the defense to get there. And now it's 3rd down upcoming here for the Grovers. As Kai Zabel will come into the game, and we have another timeout on the field. We will keep it here. But the second timeout here for Fargo Oak Grove, so they are down to 1. And what that means with where we are on the time, if Oak Grove doesn't punch it in or get a first down here, it'll be a turnover on downs. Riley Bockegaard making his way out onto the field as well in crutches, not putting any pressure on that left leg moving forward. But we'll see what his situation is going to be next week when Fargo Oak Grove will host the Oaks Tornadoes from West Fargo High School next week on your live event. Sargent County hits the road to Rugby for a long road trip tomorrow next week. And then they will host Ellendale Edgeley Cullum in Milner on September the 9th, the next contest that'll be on your live event for the Bulldogs. 1:16 left to play in regulation. Winner gets to 500. Loser drops to 0-2 on the season and 0-2 in Region 1 play as well. 1 wide receiver split out either side. Peterson in the backfield. Schumacher at quarterback. Schumacher looking to throw. Has some time. Throws it down the middle. Post pattern back to Olsen, who slips. Incomplete. In on the coverage is Hansen. as Olsen is now trying to slowly get up in the end zone. But Schumacher gave an attempt for Olsen again to try to put one through, just unable to come down with that one. Maple River defeats Richland tonight, 24-8 in 9-man football, so the Raiders get to 1-1 on the season after losing to top-ranked Lemoore last week in Hope. Thanks to Nathan Hoots for that one. 4th down in the ball game here for the Grovers. The Grovers need a first down or the 6. Schumacher has some time, steps up, winds, goes down the field to Zabel. Is it caught in the end zone? No, it's incomplete. It one-hopped the intended receiver as Kai Zabel was down to a knee, put his hands underneath it, came up with it, but the official says as he brought it in his basket, it hit the turf. It's incomplete, and with one timeout remaining for Fargo Oak Grove, all that Sargent County needs to do is take a couple of knees, and this one is over. Oak Grove took a shot not once but twice in the end zone. They were going for Olsen on a deep post pattern. They went one-on-one to Zabel there. Zabel tried to come back for it. But as he did for a second, took a knee and made sure that the ball was coming towards him. It was awfully close from where we saw it. It looked like he might have got his hand underneath it, but the official that was right at the goal line said that he brought it in, he cradled it in, and that is incomplete as it hit the turf. Hoisted will take a QB knee. Coach Melvin Whitney Jr. will take his final timeout here of the contest. And with 53 seconds remaining, all that Sargent County needs to do is take 2 more knees, and they will improve to 1-1 on the season. After 7 points in the first quarter for the Grovers, 6 points in the second, they've been shut out here in the second half. Bulldogs, 0 points in the first quarter, 8 in the second, 6 in the third, and now able to get 6 points in the fourth as well. Sargent County is going to win their 5th consecutive ball game against Fargo Oak Grove and 7 of their last 8 against the Grovers. There's a knee, and that's all that Hoiston needs to do is take 1 more, and this contest is going to be final. The Sargent County Bulldogs win their home opener 20-13 with 1 more quarterback knee here in this contest. Oak Grove turnover on downs in their final possession. The Grovers were close here tonight, and there's going to be that old wonder if Bachigard doesn't get injured. Not to say Sargent County wouldn't have won, but how would this game been played differently from an offensive point of view? Well, Bachigard going out, Sargent County took full advantage. Give a tip of the cap to Hoisted. 3 passing touchdowns, and the Sargent County Bulldogs will win their 2022 home opener with a final 20-13 win over Fargo Oak Grove. The Grovers dropped to 0-2 on the season, 0-2 in Region 1 play. Well, for the Sargent County Bulldogs, they improve to 1-1 on this season and 1-1 in Region 1 play. Your final in winner, Sargent County 20, Oak Grove 13. Our post-game show is coming up next. A look at the final stats in this one. A player of the game. Hoping to hear maybe from a Bulldog player or Eric Olsen as well before we put a bow on this one in winner. Again, your final, the Bulldogs 20, Oak Grove 13 here on your live event. Our post-game show is coming up next.
Abuse can affect anyone, and each person's experience is different. Abuse is about power and control, and it is not always black and blue. A loving relationship should not be threatening, accusing, isolating, or include violence of any kind. The Abuse Resource Network provides services to start living the life you deserve. For more information, visit abuseresourcenetwork.org.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
From all of us at Enbridge, thank you.
Thank you.
Miigwech, and thank you for working on Line 3 replacement.
Thank you to everyone who supported this project.
Construction is complete on a new and safer pipeline that will deliver the North American energy that we all rely on every day. And is done thanks to the support and hard work of thousands of people. I'm grateful for every single voice of support and every hour of labor put into this project. Thank you.
As we come back here on your live event in Gwinner, again, your final 20-13, Sargent County defeats the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers here tonight in a rain-infested ball game here in Region 1 football that from the start to finish, even at halftime, it decided not to rain, but right when the players came back on the field, Mother Nature continued to have some raindrops coming throughout the night. Fargo Oak Grove drops to 0-2 on the season, while for the Sargent County Bulldogs, they improve to 1-1. Let's get to our post-game show brought to you in part by Tommy's Express Car Wash. Love your ride at Tommy's Express Car Wash. Sign up in the app on Google Play or the app store for your first month of unlimited washing and make Tommy's Express Car Wash part of your clean routine. Tommy's Express Car Wash with 2 locations in Fargo and 1 in Moorhead. They've got the tools and the expertise to keep your car clean inside and out. Final for you again tonight here in Sargent County. Bulldogs win it 20-13. 20-13 again is your final. We'll get to some other scores here in a moment as those are trickling in across your live event. Final Kindred all over Hillsborough Central Valley and Hillsborough today. 36-0 for the defending champs as the Kindred Vikings win it. Also a final Lisbon over Linton HMB 20-12, so the Broncos go to 1-1 on the season. And a final Northern Cass wins over Ellendale Edgeley Column 21-13. So the Jags go to 1-0 in the region, 1-1 overall. Those are some of our finals across your live event. On our Tommy's Express Car Wash, let's recap what happened in the second half. After one half of play, it was 13-8 Fargo Oak Grove. The 2 touchdowns in the second half via Sargent County, hoisted to Christensen a 22-yard touchdown pass, which made it 14-13 with 3:45 left to play in the third quarter. Then with 7 minutes and 55 seconds left to play in the fourth, hoisted to Wilprick for 37 yards and the touchdown and the game-winning score as well to put it to boot. Actually, the Christensen one was the game-winning score. This one put it out of reach. Hoisted to Wilprick 20-13 with 7:55 left to play in the fourth quarter for Sargent County. Bulldogs, 0 points in the first quarter, 8 the second, 6 in the fourth, and they also were able to have 6 points in the fourth quarter as well for Fargo Oak Grove. 7 points in the first quarter, 6 in the second, scoreless in the third and fourth quarters. Take a look at the final numbers in this one on our Tommy's Express Car Wash. For the Sargent County Bulldogs, they would finish with 198 yards of total offense. 128 came through the air, 70 on the ground, 70 rushing yards on 25 attempts here for Sargent County. Christensen led the way on the ground, 17 carries for 54 yards for Gavin Christensen here for the Bulldogs. He had 32 in the first half. Also on the ground, Cadoon with 3 carries for 16 yards. Wilprecht, 2 carries for 6. You had Hoisted, 2 carries for -4. And Martinson, 1 carry for 0. Hoisted through the air goes 7 of 15 for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns, with those touchdown passes being 11 yards, also 37 yards. And with that, a 30-yard touchdown as well. Leading receiver, Christensen with 3 receptions for 33 yards and a touchdown. Wittich had 2 catches for 47 yards. Wilprecht, 1 catch for a touchdown, 37 yards. And Martinson, 1 catch for 11 yards and a touchdown as well here for Sargent County. Bulldogs with 1 turnover. That was a fumble late in the contest. That gave Oak Grove a chance to come back and try to win it. 3 penalties for 35 yards here for Sargent County. For Fargo Oak Grove, they would finish this contest with 195 total yards with 183 on the ground, 14 through the air for Fargo Oak Grove. Peterson was the bell cow for the Grovers. Jesse Peterson, the senior, 18 carries for 84 yards in the contest with 2 touchdowns as well. Peterson, a receiving touchdown in the first quarter and a rushing touchdown of 5 yards in the second quarter. Backyard left the game in the second quarter after having 8 carries for 22 yards. He left when it was 13-7 with 2:01 left to play in the second quarter for Fargo Oak Grove. Olson, 3 carries for 26 yards. Schumacher, 13 carries for 52 yards. And Donabauer with 1 carry for -3 yards. Through the air, Oak Grove as a team tonight will go 2 of 10 for 14 yards, a touchdown, and 1 interception. The 2 receptions went to Peterson, 2 receptions for 14 yards and a touchdown, 4 flags for 35 yards in this one. Oak Grove with a turnover in the first half and the second one to end the first half of playing a little trick play where they had Peterson trying to throw it in the field. That was picked off, and then a fumble in the second as well. So that is your final here on our Tommy's Express Car Wash. When we come back after this, we'll name you our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, get to our RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game, that and more still to come here on your live event. The Bulldogs get to 1-1 on the season while the Grovers drop to 0.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
Kate's Kennels, located in Castleton, North Dakota. We offer boarding for all of your furry companions. Whether you're going on vacation or you have an emergency, we are here for you. We know they are a member of your family, and we will treat them as if they were one of our own. Kennel tours are always welcome. Check us out on Facebook at Kate's Kennels or visit our website at kateskennels.com. Give us a call at 701-347-4176 for all your furry friend boarding needs.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
As we continue on our Tommy's Express Car Wash, let's get to some of the finals in this one in terms of our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. Enbridge Energy for life. Learn more at enbridge.com. 4 career opportunities again with Enbridge. And our Player of the Game, I think, goes to a 2-parter for the Sargent County Bulldogs. Michael Hoisted again with 3 passing touchdowns, 128 yards through the air, 7 of 15. He is 1A for the Bulldogs. 1B would have to be Christensen as well. 3 receptions for 33 yards and a touchdown. Also able to have 54 yards of total offense for Sargent County. Your 1A, 1B for Fargo Oak Grove. Absolutely everywhere tonight on the linebacker spot was the senior Andrew Green for the Grovers, just making a ton of tackles. And then Jesse Peterson for Oak Grove, he would be our 1B. Just a very workmanlike game as well here in this one. Those are Enbridge Energy players of the game. Our RDK Enterprises feature precision play of the game. And that could go a couple of different ways because in the second quarter, Hoisted hit Martinson to make it a one-score game before you got to the half. And that made it 13-8, and Hoisted just threw a perfect ball to Martinson. I think you can give that as part of, again, a 1A, and then obviously the touchdown game-winning catch, Hoisted Christensen for 22 yards and a score in the third quarter. That did it as well. Sargent County, again, wins it 20-13, but that is our RDK Enterprises precision plays of the game. I think that first touchdown Hoisted threw, but then the second one as well to Christensen just for the game-winning score, and Hoisted came back here in this week number 2. RDK Enterprises wishes you a safe harvest, and thank you for your business. Go online to planterdoc.com for more information on RDK Enterprise. When we come back after this, we'll put a bow on this one and speak with Sargent County head coach Eric Olson. That's coming up next here on your live event from Gwinner, and then we'll put a bow on a Bulldogs win here in Region 1 football.
Fact. High schools need every sports official they can find. Want to ensure that kids keep playing? Become an official and a leader. Over 25,000 North Dakota student athletes participate in statewide school-sponsored sports programs. Sports provide students with real-time training for real life. Teamwork and planning under pressure provide our young men and women with skills that will serve them throughout their lives. Without officials, high school sports wouldn't exist. It may be more.
If you want help from a firm who has integrity, respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the benefit of the community, then look no further than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys are dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsboro, and Castleton, or visit our website at www.onsteadlaw.com.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Back with us, head coach for the Sargent County Bulldogs. That is Eric Olson again. Chase Miller with you from Gwinner. Eric, first things first, congratulations on a win. And I know you said, line play had to be a little bit better from week number 1 to week number 2. You said if we can limit the big play and also take care of the ball. Well, you were able to limit a good portion of big plays. You were able to take care of the ball, win the turnover battle, and it seemed like, you got hit in the mouth to start against Oak Grove's line, but as the game went on, you were able to wear it a little bit. What did you take away from a gritty, grindy, and also very wet condition where it's not raining when you guys finally finish the game, but it rains from kickoff to the very end here in Gwinner?
No, you're right. It was a gritty win. The guys, they got down early, Oak Grove, and we knew that they were going to come out and with a lot of energy right away. Because they always do, and they punched us in the mouth, and we didn't handle that real well. But once we started getting some confidence up front, I thought second quarter into that third quarter, we really did a good job of pounding the ball with our offensive line and Colton and Gavin running the ball. So no, I thought we're excited about the victory. The kids played hard. They definitely earned that one. And yeah, it was a gritty victory.
How about, I know you talked about Hoista gave you a text Saturday morning after the Oaks game saying, Coach, I got to get better. I understand that. We'll find ways and we'll see what practice brings this week, right? What did you see for him in practice to have a 3-touchdown, no interception game, 7 of 15 through the air, and all 3 scores were very much needed. And in particular, that first touchdown late in the second quarter, I felt like gave you guys a little boost going the second half.
Absolutely did. No, he played with a lot more confidence here this week and throughout the week of practice. And he knew that, and you know what? He's played 2 JV games as a freshman last year. So, I mean, this was really his third start at quarterback in his 7 through 12 career. So he played with a lot more poise. He changed some plays at the line of scrimmage, which I was very impressed with him willing to do. And making those big throws down the stretch. Like you said, the second quarter, that touchdown pass to Gavin, and I thought that one that really he you could tell the confidence with him. That touchdown to Fletcher in the fourth quarter here, he was jacked on that one, and he played a much better game here this week, and he deserved to have that success after last week.
And the one thing, injuries are very much part of the game, and you never want to see an injury on your side. You never want to see an injury on Oak Grove's side. But when Riley Bockegaard went out, when it was a one-score game late there in the second quarter, it just kind of felt like Oak Grove became a little bit more maybe one-dimensional with Schumacher in there. So how much did that change the game going into the second half or halftime adjustments a little bit, Eric?
You take out a senior quarterback at any level, I mean, that's going to hurt. So we hope that that Riley turns out okay after this, because you never want to see anybody go down. But yeah, you're right. I mean, if that was our quarterback, we'd be very, very much one-dimensional as well. So yeah, it probably changed the scope of the game, and we were able to make plays when we needed to down the stretch.
Final thing for you. Now you got a long road trip to the geographical center of North America coming up here. It's a non-region game for you guys. What is week 2 to week 3 now going to entail in terms of finding ways to get better? Obviously, trying to get a non-region win, try to get to 2-1 on the season, then get ready for the rest of the Region 1 gauntlet coming up here, Eric.
Just shore up some things. We still made some mistakes offensively and defensively, so work on shoring those up. Get healthy. We got banged up a little bit because that was a hard-fought game. It was a good physical game. But no, being able to see a team that we wouldn't typically see here next week, and you're right, making a long road trip, maybe some bonding time on the 4 hours up there, but no, looking forward to seeing somebody else and competing again on a Friday night.
Eric Olson with us. Eric, thanks so much for your time. 1-1 on the season. Best of luck next week.
Thank you, Chase. Appreciate it.
Fargo Oak Grove, they dropped to 0-2 on the season. On the opposite side, the Grovers will be hosting the Oaks Tornadoes coming up next week in West Fargo. So again, Oaks against Oak Grove at West Fargo, that game on your live event. We will have a game 2 weeks from now in Milner for Sargent County for their next game on your live event. On behalf of everybody here on the project, thanks to Mark Forseth behind the scenes for doing some of the tech work. Thanks to our cameraman here tonight and Howie Newstall. On behalf of Melvin Whitney Jr. and Eric Olson, I'm Chase Miller repeating today's final from Gwinner. 20-13 Bulldogs pick up the win, and they improve to 1-1 on the season. Oak Grove drops to 0-2. Make sure you go to yourliveevent.com. If you missed any of our conversations earlier or any of the plays, you can check it out for free on yourliveevent.com. Also search Your Live Event on YouTube and hit subscribe. And also go to yourliveevent.com for the coaches show and a whole lot more action starting next week. Volleyball is back on the slate as well. Have a great rest of your evening and a good weekend from Gwinner. I'm Chase Miller. Good night and have a great rest of your weekend.